Okay, guys, well, look, we are just about to start, and I have to admit, I think I'm going to have a few unhappy emails coming to me tomorrow. Boy, oh boy, talk about some response. We're double oversubscribed. Now, my go-to webinar only has 100 places on it. Actually, it says 101. And we had 100, well, we actually had 200 people. We just hit the 200 registered. I sent an email out and saying, guys, please, if you can't get on this webinar, do the right thing and unregister so someone else can hop on. And 3 people hopped off, so it went down to 197. But I am going to have to field some questions tomorrow with some individuals that couldn't get on here tonight. Now, guys, look, I really am excited. This is going to be an amazing training that you're all going to go through. And I say the word training on purpose. This will be training. You are going to leave this information that I'm sharing with you a lot wiser and a lot smarter than you came. Why? Well, because quite honestly, there's only a small percentage of the world that know the information that I am going to be sharing with you. That may sound like a tall order and might sound like I'm making a really big claim, but I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, very, very few people know the information that I'm going to be sharing tonight. And when you're aware of it, you're going to have some light bulb moments. So you're really going to go, oh man, that does make sense. I can see that happening. And I just really, really cannot wait until I start to turn some light bulbs on for all of you. Now, guys, those of you that know me know that I really am a stickler for time, and that I do believe in starting on time. It is 1 minute to 7 at the moment. Now, give me an idea, guys. In your chat box, I want to know that you can all hear me, but also let me know where you're from. So just so I get a bit of a concept of all of these people that are jumping onto this right now. Pop it into the chat box. Let me know the where are we? Oh, okay. I just saw a note then, so we got some pretty excited. I better not repeat that message there. Where are we from, guys? Give me some information, and I really cannot wait to get going. Now, where are we? We've got Melbourne, we've got Perth, we've got Runaway Bay, we've got Port Augusta, we've got the UK. Whereabouts in the UK, Martin? I've got a few clients over there, and they're kicking some goals now. So we've got Brisbane, we've got Redlands, we've got London. Fantastic, Martin. And that's actually one place that I haven't been. You know, I really will be getting there in the not too distant future. But yeah, guys, look, this is all over. You're coming. Thanks. We're really coming from all over the world here. Now, all right, it is 7 o'clock, and it is time to get this party started. And you've this call for a reason. Now, I don't know how you've seen me, heard of me, or known about this webinar, but I can promise you one thing. I really, really detest people that waste my time, because time is the one asset that you cannot replace, and I've done everything in my power to make sure that this is the most informative information that you could possibly get your hands on. So hold on to your horses, guys. I'm going to give it everything that I've got, and I'd really love your feedback on if you've got any questions, hit me with it. Now, I'm going to be doing a Q&A right at the end of this, so I probably won't be getting to your questions during it because I will be in the zone, but as we get to the end of it, I've allowed 30 minutes to answer any questions and answers, and I'll probably cover a lot of information as we're going along. Okay, so it is time to make this all happen. I'm going to make a personal promise to you guys, and that is that I'm going to show you exactly how to design the life that you want using business consulting as the vehicle to do it. And how can I make that a promise to you? Well, it's simply because that's what I've done, and the results have been pretty amazing. Now, what I'm going to be sharing with you tonight is really my personal consulting model that I've used, which is currently making me $8,219 a day. Now, that ain't too shabby, and here's the truth. I'm only in low gear. It was actually a lot higher than that, but strategically I scaled my company right back because I have a very different plan for the rebuild of Street Smart Business School and the whole Street Smart environment. And so on purpose, guys, I halved the organisation. Some of you may say, are you mad? No, I'm not mad. I'm just very committed, because rather than have lots and lots of people running around and with their heads cut off like chooks, what I want to make sure is that the individuals that are in the Street Smart environment get real results. And I mean serious results. Now, guys, I may even reveal to you, I was a bit curious. I got one of my staff today, Heidi, to just do an analysis of all of the advisors that I've trained since I've started teaching these skills to people, because I really wanted to know the success rate accurately of how the results have gone with the people that have done the training. Now, I have a small problem here, and that is because if I reveal to you the actual success rate, the actual percentage of people that have been successful doing this training, you may not believe the number, and I am really pondering whether I do reveal it or not. But hand on heart, it's all documented, it's all there, and I can say pretty well with massive confidence that you're about to be shown what is probably regarded as one of the most successful business advisor training programs on the planet. And once I share with you how we get the results, you'll soon understand why that's the case. So, what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to share with you 3 speed wealth secrets, guys. Now, one of them is going to be why only 5% of people in Australia earn $140,000 or more. Now, that's it. Okay, most of the people, 95% of the people in Australia earn less than $140,000, 95% of them. So I'm going to be revealing to you why that's occurring, okay? I'm also going to be revealing to you why I believe that business consulting is the most financially and personally rewarding business on the planet. I say personally because I jump out of bed so excited every morning. I get stories left, right and centre. Just, you know, the impact that we have on the planet is quite massive, guys, and I'll share a few of those with you as we go along as well. And I'm also going to be sharing with you the 3 critical things that every business must have to succeed. Now, whether you decide to keep going on the journey with me or not, most of you are on here because you're looking for an answer to something, and the way I know that is otherwise you wouldn't be here. So why I'm going to share these things with you, these 3 critical things, is even if you do not think that business consulting is the right answer for you and you're looking for some other business opportunity, you must make sure that you tick these 3 boxes accurately in any opportunity that you're looking for. So get ready, grab a paper, get some caffeine into you if you really need a stimulant, or hopefully I'll be stimulating you well enough. And please turn that mobile phone off, guys. I want you to be focusing 200% on what I'm sharing with you, because it really can have a massive, massive impact on your future. So guys, without further ado, I'll just count to 3 to give you time. If you haven't got a pen or pencil, you will probably want to take notes. So I'm going to count to 3 and then we'll get this all happening. So 1, 2, 3, and we are off. Okay. Now guys, you are about to enter the speed wealth zone. And the reason I call it the speed wealth zone is because in this arena, when you know the skill sets that I'm going to be sharing with you, the results that you get are so much higher than the average individual achieves that it really defies belief sometimes. It really does. I wake up every morning and I still thank God, I really do, for the life that I live, because it really is blessed. And it is a speed wealth zone, because now when I put the same effort in today that I used to put in, say, 16 years ago, I literally get 15, 20 times the result of what I would have gotten prior to becoming, if you like, street smart, prior to knowing the things that I now know. And with a bit of luck, I'm hoping that I can see the same sort of result happen with you. Now, sadly, I can't promise all of you that you're going to get the same sort of results that I get in life or that my students get, because I don't know you. I don't know how much effort you're going to put in. I don't know how committed you are to achieve the things you want to achieve. But I can tell you that I'm going to share everything that I can with you in the time we have together for free. I'm going to share with you exactly what I do and how I get the returns that I get, and how many of my students get returns as well. By the way, some of my students out there make more money than I do. I'm not an individual that thinks that I'm on the very best there is, because it's just quite amazing how people take this knowledge and use it in different ways. So, guys, please understand these results, they are not typical. But again, the shock that I got by looking at the percentage success rate from the students that I train, I'm still on a high from it. But it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is not a thing where I'm going to say, hey, please give me some money, I'll give you a box of stuff and you'll go and be a millionaire tomorrow. Quite honestly, guys, those individuals really, really upset me. In fact, if any of you know our history, you would know that we're probably regarded as one of the top if you like, promoters in Australia. We've had some pretty amazing results. I brought Harry Dent out to Australia 3 years ago, around about 2,000 people listening to his words of wisdom, and it was quite an experience. And I had a large number of individuals sharing their knowledge on stage. And I vet my speakers very, very carefully. But, you know, there are a number of individuals out there that will say or do anything to separate somebody from their money. And I just wanted to get away from that environment and that scene and just really show people simple, proven systems and strategies. And if they're willing to put the effort in, they can get pretty amazing results for it. So that is the Street Smart environment today. Now, you all came here because I let you know that I'm going to be opening this world of consulting up and letting you know how we get the results we get. And so I just want to start this training off, I guess, with what consulting really is. And it's quite simple, really. See, basically, someone needs help, someone's got a problem, someone's got an issue. Well, your role as a consultant is simply to find a way to help them so you both profit. Isn't that amazing? So how often do you actually get to see something where it's a win-win, where both of you actually benefit from the transaction? It's not that often. I can tell you now, the amount of friends that I have all over the world because of the impact that I've had on their lives and the really massive difference that I've had in their, I guess, financial and lifestyle, it's quite extraordinary. And so you both win. You make extraordinary money as an advisor and they get extraordinary results, but they get it for life because you've taught them these skills and they keep getting those returns over and over again. So basically what happens is we're searching for individuals out there that have a problem. Now, it could be they don't know how to get leads coming into their business, or they're not very efficient in what they do, or maybe they just don't know how to get a sale, or they don't know how to create a system in their organisation. Whatever the issue may be, they're trapped. They're looking for a solution and they can't find it on their own. So they're saying, please help me because I don't want to be over here anymore. I actually want to get over to here where I can have the life that I want, where life was meant to be easy. And so your role as the consultant is to help map that path out for them, give them the clarity, and also, quite honestly, give them the confidence and I guess the assurance that they can achieve the things that they're looking to achieve, because sometimes it can be pretty stressful as an entrepreneur, guys. We're a really misunderstood lot. And so that's really what we spend our lives doing, is just helping people. But as a side benefit, we get paid an incredible amount of money for doing it. There you go. So that's what I spend my life doing. Now, who am I? Well, there's probably some of you out here that don't know who I am. Maybe you've come to me through a Facebook message, or a friend's told you, or you've been referred to us. So I think it's also very important that when you're getting advice of someone or you're learning of someone, that you know that they're very successful in what they're doing. I don't know, how many of you out there have been ripped off or given poor advice by somebody that really had no right to give you their opinion? I know I have in the past. So I've got a very, very simple rule. If I want to know something about a particular subject, I will not listen to, well, I do listen politely, but I only take the advice of people that are at least 5 times more successful than me in that particular area. Does that make sense, guys? Let me know that you're out there and that you can hear this. If you think that makes sense, please, it's really, I hope you're understanding that I'm teaching as we speak. Because that one lesson, once I started to apply it, really stopped me going down the wrong track a lot of the time. So here's my resume for what it's worth, and you then decide whether I am have a decent resume for you. Number one, don't judge me on my looks. That's my mother's fault. But essentially, I built one of the largest residential and light commercial air conditioning companies in Australia. I have built 5 multi-million-dollar businesses. Built one of the largest coaching and consulting organisations in the Southern Hemisphere. Generated well over $70 million in my own companies. Went bankrupt by not knowing what I didn't know, which was very painful, guys. I wouldn't recommend it on anyone. But it really was, even though it was the worst thing that's ever happened to me, it was also now, looking back, the best thing that could have ever happened to me. I'd regained my wealth in 3 years. Now, the way that I managed to do that, guys, is, you know, this is the one thing that's wonderful about self-development and improving your skill sets and having that real desire to learn and really try to make tomorrow better than yesterday. And that is that once you've got that knowledge, it stays with you. So you learn, you can't forget how to do lead generation, how to create marketing strategies, how to improve efficiencies. Once you've learned it once, then it stays in your head, which is a wonderful thing. So even though I went bankrupt and I nearly gave up on myself, I didn't. It came very close. I nearly led a very different life, but I decided to hook back in again. And within 3 years, I actually came back bigger and stronger and better than ever, guys. And right now, I'm working on my 6th multi-million-dollar company. And I'm very, very excited about this one as well. And I won't get distracted by telling you all these things, but essentially, the reason I scaled my company down to half its size was because I am systemizing, I am itemizing, I am documentizing absolutely everything in this organization down to the finest detail so that I can make the most accountable organization for business development for business owners in my business school. You see, here's the magic word, accountable. Now, in my business school, the average improvement for my students is 25%. That's the low end, okay? So unless they're just starting and they're just getting into action, 25% improvement. Now, that's a bloody good improvement. Now, we've got 6 and 7 and 800% improvement as well in our business school for our students there, but that's my mission. I don't want people just to come and hand me money, listen to me politely, and get all excited for a few hours and disappear. I want results. I want people to get financial and lifestyle freedom in 3 to 5 years, guys. So here's the 3 secrets that I'm going to be sharing. We're going to start off with number 1, and it's a good place to start. And that is, why is it that only 5% of people earn more than $140,000 per annum? Why is it? And I'm also going to share how you can join the 5%. Who else would like to join the 5%? Well, you're going to be able to learn how in a second, guys. Now, it doesn't matter whether you went to university, it doesn't matter if you're not a mathematical genius, and it doesn't matter if you don't look like Brad Pitt or Angelina Jolie. I just gave you living proof of that. See, I am living proof that ugly sells, ladies and gentlemen. And the bottom line is that we are all born with the same gifts, give or take. We're all got the same size brain and the same size cells. I've got the same muscle structure as Arnold Schwarzenegger. Would you believe that? So why is he 5 times bigger than me? Well, because he decided to be, guys, because he put the effort in and he trained hard and he did everything he could to get to the top of his game. So, you know, give or take, we are all blessed with the same basic tools, and it's how we use those tools that really counts. So why is it again that, you know, some people seem to make it and they seem to really get to the top of their game and seem to have this amazing life, and others seem to struggle all the time? Well, I can honestly say to you that largely it's probably not your fault. You see, from the day you're born, you're told what to eat, you're told what to learn and what to do, you're told what to wear, and when circumstances happen, you're told what to expect. Also taught how to act in front of people. This is what you're taught by those around you, those that love you or supposedly do. As you get older, well, your parents tell you off for doing certain things. You get taught these flawed belief systems that, you know, maybe money's evil or money doesn't grow on trees, or, you know, all these sorts of little things that your parents and your family and your aunties and your uncles, that they don't mean any harm by it because they don't know any better, but little things that you really look back on and say, well, that wasn't really a very big thing that I said, can have a really devastating effect on an individual as they get older. So basically what can happen is it gives you self-limiting beliefs and it damages your self-esteem if the parents are not aware of the dangers of these sorts of communications. So, you know, in the first 8 years of a child's life, and this isn't me, I always refer to the experts, guys. This is UNICEF, so you think they might know something. The first 8 years in a child's life is his or her most important formative years. So whatever they've experienced and whatever environment, positive or negative, that they've gone through, that's what forms their future life largely. And that's what they use as a filter to decide how they should act and what decisions they should make. So I hope this is all making sense to you. Please let me know. Tell me if this is making sense to you guys. I'm hoping that I can, you know, really jackhammer through the carbonised crap that develops around a lot of people's minds over the years. You see, they all get these beliefs that life is the way that it is and there's no changing it. Well, I hope that I can jackhammer that away today and you can understand where I'm coming from. So to prove my point, let's think about somebody maybe that's on Social Security. Now, I know this is USA. I don't know if we've got anything. Have we got anyone from the USA? Goodness me, with all the people we've got on this call, let me know if there's anyone from the USA. Thanks, Jane. I'm glad you see that this makes sense to you. But, okay, so Social Security. Well, you know, they've got a certain type of mentality going on in their head, okay? You've also then got let's say the middle class. So let's call these Betty and Bill, shall we? So these are individuals that were brought up and maybe they're baby boomers and they were taught a certain way of life, and if they save their pennies and put that into a house and don't have a lot of debt, they'll have a good life and they can tend the roses as they get older. And so they taught their children these same principles and set them up and taught them as best they could that that's the way life should be. And then you got people like this, Donald Trump, and he has his children and he has his environment and he teaches them what he believes. Can you see? Let me just reverse. Think of the thought processes, guys. Think of the thought processes that are going through individuals that are sadly stuck on social welfare and have to struggle by and really, have not the most spectacular life. Then you've got the thought processes of people that are sort of doing, maybe working in the public service or accountants or individuals, a lawyer maybe, or maybe they're going to do office work, whatever it is, middle class. And then you've got that ultra-rich environment where these individuals just seem to have life handed to them on a silver platter, you know. I hope you're understanding the different processes. Because what's happening is, as you're brought up in each of these different environments, you are being programmed. Your future is being mapped out for you, even though you don't realise it, even though your parents and your friends don't realise it. Your mind is getting programmed with your future, the future that you believe you have to have. And if you are not aware of it and if you are not careful with it, maybe it's not the best future for you. And my job tonight is to make you aware of it so that you can perhaps start doing something about it. So let's just go a little bit further on this social security mindset for a moment, okay? And again, I'm not having a dig at anyone that's on social security. Many times, again, it's not their fault. They don't get to see or hear the information that I'm sharing with all of you. But, you know, quite honestly, a lot of them are taught these skill sets, how to maximise welfare. And yes, I know I might aggravate some people, but you've got, let's just say, young ladies that know how to perhaps have numerous children and then get quite a large welfare benefit from that. I see it many, many times. I'm getting bald for a reason, and the simple fact is there's some individuals I know of that get an well, it's not an extraordinary check, but to them it is, by having lots and lots of children, and many of them with 3 and 4 different fathers, you know. Well, their parents probably taught them, okay? And so, well, this is okay. This is how you actually get ahead. You just maximise the resources that you have. And I'm not judging. Now, they may also get taught how not to get beaten up, or they may get taught how to really defend themselves and get very, very effective at running or fighting or whatever they need to get in their environment. And they're also taught how to survive on $285 a week, ladies and gentlemen. That's all you get on the dole. I don't know how you could survive on that, but they have to. You know, so these are the skill sets that they develop with that mentality. Let's go up a notch, shall we? Let's see the program that happens from Bill and Betty, okay, so with their children. And they do the very best that they can with their children, just like the people on social welfare are doing the very best that they believe. Look, you know, there's no denying nearly every parent out there loves their children with all their heart and wants to do the best they can for them, but they can only do it within their ability and their knowledge and their resources. So now we've got Bill and Bet, and they've got their children. So what they do is they say to their children, hey, listen, you study hard, you go to school, you get to uni, then you go get a good job. Maybe you can get a job in the public service, you know, that's good and it's safe. Or you could become a lawyer or a doctor or et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, you'll be able to make some really good money. You might make 50,000, you might even make 100, maybe even 130, $140,000 if you play your cards right. And so they're programmed to this type of life, okay? Now let's just go one level again above that. Well, maybe not one level. How about 10 levels above this, okay? Let's think about this family, shall we? Now, this family here, just try and imagine, can you, the sort of programming that's going on there. Do you think any of them are taught how to get by on $246 a week? Do you think any of these children are ever taught by their individuals that are raising them that something can't be done? You know, that you will never be able to make $1 million a year? For Pete's sake, they're probably saying you should be making $1 million a week. You know, how many times do you think they would be told that they can't do something? Well, not very many, guys, I'm telling you now. And that is, quite honestly, why so many of them are so successful. Look, I have to be honest. I mean, you take one look at Donald Trump's children and you go, man, he must have been one hell of a dad. I mean, you have a look at his children and it's just hard to sort of fault them. So bottom line is what I'm saying is your environment and the things that you see and the responses that you learn are largely programmed into you, and you need to be aware of it so that you can do something about it. I'm going to tell you a true story now, another example of, if you like, the programming, okay, that can happen in life. Now, this is a true story. When I went to Melbourne, I hopped in a taxi. It was a while ago now. It's probably about 8 months ago, 9 months ago. So maybe some of the numbers might be slightly out, but not much. So essentially, I hopped into this taxi, and this gentleman, he's an Indian guy, a huge smile on his face, and his name was Raj. I remembered his name was Raj, and I was curious because he had such a big grin and such a happy way about him. You know, I don't see that a lot when I hop into a taxi. And I said, mate, why are you so happy? He says, oh, I just love what I do. I says, really, you do? And I know a lot about taxis. I actually used to own 2 of them quite a while ago. And so I said, oh, well, why are you so happy, Raj? Something great happening? He says, oh, it's just fantastic. I get to work for myself, and nobody tells me what to do, and I can make a good income for myself, and I just love life. I live here in Australia. I'm the luckiest man. I go, oh, fantastic. What's your name? I've got a soft spot for cabbies because I actually know what they have to do to make an average, well, I won't even say a decent dollar. And he says, oh, well, you know, my name's Raj, and I've been driving taxis now for 2 years. I said, fantastic, Raj. Well, can you give me an idea? I used to own a taxi years ago myself. What sort of money do you make these days? And he says, oh, well, on a good day, you know, maybe $100, $120 a day. Really, Raj? And how many hours a day are you working? He says, oh, I work 12 hours a day. I said, you work 12 hours a day, 120? So, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, that's about $10 an hour. Now, this is before tax as well, by the way, I might add. Wow, okay, good on you, Raj. Now, so do you work 5 days? Oh, no, work 6 days a week, 6 days a week. And on Sundays, I actually have a cleaning job as well. And on Sundays, I actually get $200 for Sunday. Wow, mate. So you really work non-stop. You don't stop, do you? He says, no. He says, and you know what? I said, what? He says, I've nearly got enough for a deposit on my home so I can have a home for my family. I said, oh, what sort of home? What do you? He says, oh, I'm going to be able to get an apartment very soon, a 2 apartment for my family. I've nearly got enough deposit saved up. And so, mate, I just was amazed at how happy this guy was in the world that he's living. Now, get a load of the hours that this guy is working. This guy is working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, 6 12s are 72. So it's 72 hours in his taxi. He's doing about another probably 4 or 5 hours for his cleaning. So what's that? About 78, 79, 77, 78 hours a week, ladies and gentlemen, for what? Okay, so $10 an hour. So he's making maybe $100 a day, $700 a week in the taxi, and then another, say, $200 on the Sunday, so maybe $900 to $1,000. So he's maybe making $50,000 a year, and I won't even suggest the tax side of things. And he's got a smile from ear to ear. Well, you see, why is he so happy? Well, that's his reality. And I wasn't going to say anything. If he's happy and that's his life, what right do I have to say, man, you're working bloody hard for that sort of money? And so all I did was give him a very nice tip and thank him. But the point of this, and I hope you're understanding it, is that he decided to drive the taxi. That's where his thought process has ended. And, probably compared to where he came from in India, that's the equivalent of being like a Donald Trump from, where I am to Donald, or from whoever. It's just all a relative game. We really, quite honestly, guys, we live in Australia. How can we even dare to complain about anything? We're just the luckiest people on the planet. Anyway, the bottom line that I'm coming to is that, people think that the life that they have is their reality, that this is the way things are. And what I want you to understand by the time I'm finished teaching you is that your reality is actually a fantasy created by you, those around you, the people that influence you, and that you have the ability to determine what your reality should be. Now, I'll give you one other example of you determining what your life should be by giving you one more situation, which, really happened about, I guess, 2 years ago. And what it is, it's about defragging your mind, okay? So it's about saying, you know what, okay, I'm living this sort of life, I'm having this sort of relationship, I've got this sort of health. Is this really what I'm happy with, or do I want to do something different? Can I really reconfigure the things that are going on in my world and get a different outcome? Well, guys, the answer is yes. Okay, so I'm just going to get you to have a reality check for a second before I share this next example with you. And please, you've all got pen and paper and probably a cup of coffee, and I know your phones are off and you've locked the doors now, because what I'm going to ask you really is an important series of questions. Because to the best of my knowledge, we only have, well, look, I do believe there's something else after we die, but no one's come back and told me what it is. So for the time being, let's just say that this life that we've got to make the most of it. And so with that in mind, I want to ask you, if you've got children, are you sending them to the schools that you want to send them to, or are you sending them to the school that you have to send them to? When you go on holidays, are you going on the holidays that you want to have, or the holidays that you have to have? And just put a yes or a no there. So yes, I'm sending them right to the school I want, or yes, I take the holidays that I want to be having. What about your home? Are you happy with where you're living and the sort of environment you're in and the situation that's happening? Or you're living in the home that you have to live in because that's all that you can afford? What about your retirement? And this is a biggie, guys, because do not think for 1 second the government's going to look after you when you hit 65. They're just using every excuse under the sun. The world is broke. So if you cannot look after your family, guess what? There's going to be a challenge for you as you get older. So have you got the retirement that you want? Have you got the funds that you want? Or have you got the funds that might keep you a bit awake at night at the moment? It's a bit of a reality check, but don't you think they're important questions that you should be asking yourself? I mean, you've got as much right to these things in life as anybody else, as Donald Trump or me or any other individual. So the question is, if you said no to a number of these things, another important question would be, well, what's prevented you so far having the sort of things that you want, the cars, the holidays, the homes? There's got to be something, okay? Now, once you're aware of this, and now you are aware of it, guys, once you are aware, I'm not satisfied with what I got, I'd like something better. You've sort of got a choice. You can either sit at home and rub your magic lamp, hope for a genie to turn up and grant you 3 wishes and you win lotto or some other thing, or some rich, distant uncle leaves you an incredible amount of money. Okay, that's one possibility, I guess. I wouldn't put too much hope in it. Or you can simply take responsibility for the situation that you're in, clean up the mess that you've got, and then just make a simple plan to take you from where you are to where you want to be. That's it. And guys, I'm not oversimplifying it. That is as simple as it is. And when you do that, when you have the courage to do that, and it does take a bit of courage, you'll be amazed at the sort of things that can happen and how your life really changes in a hurry. Now, a while ago, I was having a chat. He's a really, really amazing guy. His name's Mark Boris. And I was having a chat to him because, there are a lot of very, very successful people that I mingle with and that I know and associate with. And I was talking with Mark a while ago, and I said to him, mate, tell me, what is it that makes you so successful compared to, your competitors? Why is it that you seem to hit a home run and you leave your competitors in the dust? Now, Mark's response to me, I'll never forget it, was he says, Ian, it's bloody simple, mate. That's how he talks. Come on, mate. Because, Mark came from Punchbowl. I don't know if you guys know this. This is one of the most successful, if you like, entrepreneurial heroes in Australia. My heroes, guys, Dick Smith, Jerry Harvey, Mark Boris, John Singleton. These are guys that I hold in such high esteem. Largely because they're larrikins, I get a bit worried that we're all becoming just so pasteurised. We're all blooming trying to be the same and politically correct and not sticking our neck up. But you've got people like Dick Smith. I don't know how old many of you are, but I'll tell you now, especially you guys in England will get a bit of a laugh out of this. So, Dick Smith didn't have a lot of money when he first started his little auto-electrical business and electronics store. So what he did, he had to maximise publicity. And he was good mates with this guy called Singo. So what they did was come up with some crazy ideas like, you know what? He'd send press releases out to all the media and he'd say, hey, listen, I'm going to take a jumbo under the Harbour Bridge. Well, all the media would get excited. They'd think he's going, because he was a pilot as well. He had his pilot's license, and they'd think that he's going to take this aeroplane and fly it under the Harbour Bridge. And we're getting all of this feedback about how dangerous it is and how can someone be so irresponsible and all of these sorts of things. And on the day that he says he's going to do it, I kid you not, just the harbour, Sydney Harbour, is surrounded with all of these individuals watching to see this massive jumbo come under the Harbour Bridge. And so what do you see? You see this barge come along on the harbour and you see this big elephant on the harbour and there's Dicko with his elephant, a big grin on his face, and he kept his promise because he took a jumbo under the Harbour Bridge. Well, what do you think that did for publicity for electronics? I'll tell you what, it was huge. Him, James Packer, these are all guys that have got guts, I guess. They just get out there and they give it everything they've got. And it's the same with Mark Boris. See, his parents, his father, and if you don't know anything about it, his father actually had 7 jobs at one time to make ends meet. They're immigrants, they were Greeks, and they came to Australia, they lived in Punchbowl, and he just brought himself up by the bootstraps. And he's just a down-to-earth guy, very straight talker. He won't take crap off anyone. Very, very fit too. But, this guy said, you know what, Ian? I just do whatever it takes. And he says, quite honestly, most people just aren't willing to do that. So I take my hat off to him because he really works his backside. If you saw his routine, it's quite amazing. So once again, I hope you're understanding how we get programmed and how we end up where we are, largely because of the influences around us. And so a lot of people get programmed to choose the wrong vehicle, the wrong money vehicle, the wrong business vehicle, the wrong career vehicle, and so they don't get to the finishing line that they want. And yet you see people like, for example, Trump, his family, they get programmed to find the racing cars that'll get them to the finishing line very quickly, the business vehicles that'll make a lot of money without a lot of effort, the high leverage. How do you leverage other people's time, other people's money, other people's knowledge? And so they get programmed for that. And so once you actually realise, wow, I just got to change my program a bit, pretty amazing things happen. You'll make a mental shift, and you'll start to create the life that you want to have rather than the one that you have to have. And you'll very quickly realise that it is all within your control. Now, again, this is all related to why 5% of people have 95% of the wealth. And it's really the reason why only 5% of Australians earn 140,000 or more in Australia. It's because even right now, even though I'm giving you heaps of proof and just giving you point-blank examples of other people that are doing what I'm talking about, there are some of you here that are thinking, oh, okay, well, that's for other people. I don't think I could be doing that. I just know for a fact it's just numbers. And you see, what happens is we're wired for some reason to make sure that we protect what we have. We want to hold on to the situation that we know and that we feel comfortable with rather than risk something to get something that we don't have. Okay, we will do much more to protect what we have than what we will do to go and get something that we don't have as a general rule. And because we are wired that way, most people stay in situations that perhaps are not that ideal. This is part of the reason why some ladies stay in relationships that perhaps they know damn well they shouldn't stay in. This is the reason why some individuals stay in jobs or businesses that they know damn well they should have left ages ago. This is the reason why people get taken advantage of, because they just don't want to rock the boat. They're just accepting their pecking order, if you like. But I'm here to tell you that if you get into the courage zone, if you get into this area here and you start to go outside your comfort zone, that's where the growth and the opportunity and the confidence and the results start to happen. You'll be amazed, guys. Look, everybody experiences fear, but it's not real. It's just an emotion. Danger's real. Fear's not real. So I urge all of you, start stepping out of your comfort zone. Start seeing what you're really capable of. Now, here's this 95-5 rule I'm talking about. You know, sure, all of you have heard of Pareto's law, the 80-20 rule. Well, it gets even worse than that. It's the 95-5 rule. This is why 5% of people have 95% of the wealth. Now, this is America. It's the only place where you get the chart. But basically, you'll see 1% of the population in America control 43% of the wealth, and 4% of the population in America control 29% of the wealth. So there's the stats. Now, 7% of the population, sorry that this kept moving, but 7% of the population has basically got to divide the rest of it up. So bottom line is that if you are not part of the 5%, chances are you're going to be part of the 7%. And I wish this circle would stop moving. It seemed like a good idea at the time. I ain't so good right now. But bottom line is that it's your thought processes. They're programmed to accumulate the wealth. And by the way, I'm telling you here and now, if everybody got redistributed and everybody got given the same amount of money again, very shortly, that same ratio would occur again. The 5% of people would work out how to get the money off the other 95% of the people. That's just the way the world is. So, are you ready to reach outside your comfort zone, to get into the courage zone? I'm told you that I'm an example of this in action, and I think the best way I can give you an example is with myself. You see, I was in Perth for many years. I went over there to help a friend of mine, Mal Emery. His wife was dying, and he'd done a lot to help me learn a lot of very, very valuable skills. So I offered to go over there and run his organisation for 3 months, and little did I know that I would be there for 7 years. Anyway, after 7 years of me driving from 38368 Road, Baldivis, 42 minutes, and many times because traffic got very bad, to 58 Walters Drive in Herdsman, I just got jack of it, I guess, and driving to and from, having this expensive premises, costing all this money, having, gosh, I think we had about 20-odd staff, and, you know, doing huge numbers, making nice sales, and but I tell you what, head down, backside up, I just said, you know what, this isn't the best life in the world. And I saw a documentary on how Richard Branson lives his life. You see, he has this island, Necker Island, and he sits by his pool, and he has 2 personal assistants that come and see him. One sits on his left and one sits on his right, and yes, they do look like virgin hostesses. Are we allowed to use hostesses? I don't know if that's politically correct these days. Anyway, so these PAs sit on the left and right of him, and they say, right, Mr. Branson, here are the situations that have happened in your 100 different companies, and what would you like done with this, 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 and this? And so Richard would say to them, okay, well, I want you to do this, 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 and this, and that'd take about 2 hours. Off the 2 PAs would go, and he would then do whatever he wants to do for the rest of the day. I thought, you know what? That sounds like a hell of a nice way to live. Why don't I work sitting by the pool? Why don't I just have my PA ask me what I want to have happen for the day, and then I get to do what other things I want to do for the day? And so I got outside my comfort zone, and I decided to make it happen. So these days, I sit next to my little Necker, not quite as big as Necker Island. That's my office as you're looking at it right now, and I have my PA, although he's a virtual PA, so I talk to him on my Zoom every morning, and while I'm doing that, I'm looking out at my geese and my horses and the ducks. We've got 2 ducks, and they've stayed with us for a long time. And, you know, it's a very mellow way to live. It's a lot nicer than driving in the traffic all the time. And I just work from, you know, this is my favourite place in the world, guys. I mean, every morning you can now see why I say thank you and really give thanks for the wonderful things that I have. But, you know, if I didn't reach outside my comfort zone, if I didn't really decide that, yes, I could run this company virtually, yes, I could actually operate it from home, yes, I could sit by the pool and work and still have an incredible life and an incredible business, well, you know, I'd still be there driving 40-odd minutes each way to Herdsman and back in Perth, and I don't think I'd like that. Now, here's the thing. Welcome to part of my team. So welcome to Heidi. Now, Heidi doesn't quite look like this, but that's our customer relations manager, and Erwin, who's my executive PA, and Monica, who is my projects manager, and Abby, who does a lot of our online work for us, and Anita. I just ran out of spots there. I do apologise, Anita, because I ran out of ladies. So just imagine everyone, visualise that that's a lady. And Anita is our business solutions manager, our national business solutions manager. That's largely my team now. So I've slashed down from 20 odd people down to, just a core team of 5 people. But there's one more very, very special addition that I need to add here. And by the way, without this special addition, this person, there's no way I would have achieved what I've achieved. And that's my beautiful wife, Jenny. So I get to hang out with my wife, we get to stay in our beautiful environment, and we get to run our organisation. And I tell you, luckiest man alive I am. I still love you, honey. Maybe, I hope. I'm scared to ask the question, would you marry me again? I better not risk that one. Anyway, so guys, are you ready to step out of your comfort zone? Here's the question. I just showed you how I did it, and believe me, that was a big gamble for me to take that decision and totally, absolutely reconstruct the organisation. That was a really big thing. So that's why 5% of people have 95% of the wealth. It's largely the thought processes, the pre-programming, the way people think life has to be, rather than you saying, you know what, that might be the way life is, but that's not the way life has to be. I can design my life the way I want it to be. Hope that makes sense to you. So are you ready for the second wealth secret, guys? Tell me. Pop it into your chat box. Let me know that I'm doing a good job, guys. Oh, look at the feedback here. Fran says yes. Martin Keys. Oh, you've been to Dick Smith's house. Yeah, he's fantastic. Okay, thank you, Kent, Melinda. Appreciate the feedback. So speed wealth secret number 2, guys. Okay. So why is business consulting one of the most financially and personally rewarding professions in the world? Well, I'm glad you asked, and I'm going to show you. Let's just use an example that you're saying, okay, well, I've come out of Bill and Betty's home. I'm a really great kid, and I want to make some really good money for myself, and I really don't want to get a 9 to 5 and earn $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 for myself. I want to earn $300,000. I want to earn $500,000. I want to earn some pretty serious dough, but I don't want to be working massive hours. I don't want to be working 30 hours a week so I can still have a bit of a life. All right, well, if that's the case, how could that happen? Well, if you're listening to Bill and Bet, they're probably saying, well, go to uni. That's one way that you might be able to work your way up to that 300,000 if you get to be the general manager or the CEO of the organisation in some way. Maybe you could start a business. That's another way that you could earn that 300K, or you could buy a business as well. Maybe you could rob a bank. Who knows? Security is pretty hard these days. Guys, I don't know how long we're going to see cash for. I think cash is going to be part of the ancient history books in the not-too-distant future. So there's some possibilities to make the 300,000. So starting the business, well, some ideas are better than others. Gosh, who ever thought that a world's only drive-through strip club would have potential? So that didn't last very long, ladies and gentlemen. That one went bust. What about having chocolate-covered sausage? Who thinks that's a great idea? Whoever thinks that sausage on a stick and then let's wrap it in chocolate would be a great idea? Anyone? Well, someone came up with it. Guys, look, here's the thing, and I've seen many stats about business, but this is accurate research from Bloomberg's, and apparently 8 out of 10 entrepreneurs who start a business fail within the first 18 months. Now, that's 80% that crash and burn. So, it's interesting, starting a business from scratch. Now, that's one way you could make the money. All right. Another way is you could just buy an existing business that's got a proven track record. That's why franchises are so good, guys. And look, I've got nothing against franchises, especially as a starting point for you to start to escape the, if you like, the job that just over broke, because they have systems, and systems are so important to success, guys. Now, there are better franchises than others out there, and believe me, some of the best-known franchises that you've heard of really actually sort of put people in jail, and they're trapped in a very painful job. So be very careful before you choose one, but there are some very good ones out there. But let's just have a look at a coffee shop, and I just pulled these off the web a while ago. Looks like about March I pulled them off the web. So this coffee shop here, The price is $297,000, and you can make about $90,000 from that coffee shop. So spend $300,000, make $90,000 a year. Can you think about the hours you need to put into the coffee shop? What about the risk of people stealing cash and the staff that need to be there? The moving parts. Bit complicated, but it's okay. What about getting a Jets gym? Well, this one's $715,000. I've heard interesting things about different franchises, but if you have something like this, you might be looking at getting $150K for yourself. So invest $715,000, make maybe $150K, somewhere around there. That could be a good return. How about the idea of being a business consultant? Okay, how about looking at making $300,000, spending your life helping other people? Well, is it really possible without having massive debt, putting in massive hours, or employing a lot of staff? Again, I'm glad you asked the question, guys. Let me just, and none of this is make-believe. This is all actual, pure fact. This is a reality. It is one reality of many realities out there, but it is a reality. Now, I'm going to go into this a little bit further, but the magic formula I use in any business that I look at is maths plus psychology plus lifestyle. So maths is there a good margin in what you have? Psychology is, are there lots of people out there that want what you want to offer? And lifestyle is, do I have to be working 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, or is there a more leveraged way for me to run this company? So we want to make $300,000 as an advisor. Well, let's see what we could do. Now, here's the reality. Unless you want to build an organisation such as mine and have a large number of staff and have some very big goals to achieve, an individual advisor can handle about 6 to 10 clients very easily. Okay. Notice I'm not saying hundreds of clients or need thousands of leads. You only need 6 to 10 clients to make a very incredible living for yourself. Now, I'm going to show you one model. This is the first model I teach all of my advisors when they first start, and that is where they charge their clients $3,000 a month to work with them. And I'm going to use the example of just 6 clients here. And again, make no mistake, that 3,000 is only an example. Now, when I work with my centurions, I only work with 4 clients at a time personally as centurions. I charge them $5,000 a month, and I have a call with them every week or two for an hour on a Zoom, on a GoToWebinar, just like we are right now, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what I do now. Again, as I said to you, I'm not at the top of the tree. I mean, there's consultants out there that charge $20,000 a month, for Pete's sake. So, I'm very happy with my $5,000. I think that's a very good exchange of value for the people I work with. And here's the good thing. I actually get a percentage of the upside. So when I help a client make an additional amount of money, I actually get part of that improved return as well. So it's a win-win for everyone. So 6 to 10 clients, we're going to say 6, and each of these 6 clients are paying you $3,000 a month. So 6 times 3 is $18,000 a month, and each client, you'll be working with them generally around about 2 to 3 hours a week, okay, if you're sort of following a typical model that I teach you at first. Remember, this is the baby steps. This is where I want you to sort of start. So if you've got 6 clients and they're paying you $3,000, that's $216,000 a year, ladies and gentlemen, for about 20 hours work a week. Now, just let me know, who thinks that's a decent return on effort? Put in the chat box, guys. Let me know if you think that that's a $216K for 20 hours work a week. And again, there are many people out there doing this. I'm not making up one word, guys. I really cannot stress how real this is for some people. Now, when you add to that improvements, yeah, we've got Fran says it's pretty good. When you add to that the performance bonus, it gets even more exciting. So let's just say those 6 clients that you have, they're all doing $5 million a year in turnover. Well, that means that their combined turnover is $30 million for the year. Now, $30 million for the year in turnover, if you help them just achieve a 10% improvement in their business, guys, 10%, well, that's $3 million. Now, 10% improvement in a company, look, just to give you an example, I just started working with a client about 4 weeks ago, has a security business. I'm not going to share who he is or what he is because I haven't got permission to share his information, but I got off the phone with him yesterday and his results have already improved 300% in the last month, simply because I've shared a few insights with him, and the impact that's making in his business is massive. So 10% is a very, very small improvement. So that means that $3 million would be achieved as an improvement over that 30 million. Now, if you just asked for 3% of that 3 million, do you think that they would give it to you? If you said, hey, look, if I can help you make $3 million, would you be happy just to share 3% of that with me? Would you take that deal? So essentially I'm saying, look, if I give you $3 million, would you give me $90,000 back? Would you take that? Well, unless you got rocks in your head, the answer would be yes. And that's basically what we do. So essentially we'll get our retainer, 216K. We work maybe 20 hours a week with those clients. We get our improvement bonus of $90,000. So your remuneration now is $306,000 for the year. Who thinks that's maybe a little bit better than working in a cafe 7 days a week, God knows how many hours a day? Just give me an idea. Who likes this and thinks it makes a bit more sense than the other option? I'll tell you. What about the gym? How about the people that are dropping weights on their necks? By the way, do a bit of research on how many people get injured in a gym and your liabilities there. It's quite interesting reading. So there you go. Pretty simple business model, ladies and gentlemen. It's a magic formula. Now, remember I said maths plus psychology plus lifestyle is what you need to look at for a business? Well, with the maths, I think you'll agree that it's pretty exciting. I haven't seen any industry, and I've worked with hundreds of them, that come anywhere close to the sort of margins that you get and the sort of remuneration that you get. So, you know, when you follow the model, a lot of clients are worth around about $100,000 to you when you take them on. Now, as for the psychology, do you think that lots of people want what we have? Is there a hungry crowd out there? Well, the simple fact is in Australia, only 39% of business owners are making a profit. Do you think they're happy with that? I can tell you, hands down, they're not that happy, okay? Now, will they tell you that they're not making money? Of course not. They've got pride. But this is the Australian Bureau of Statistics, ladies and gentlemen. This is not me making this up. So 39% of business owners are making a profit. So what's happening with the other 60%? You think they'd like some help? Now, here's another important fact for you about people needing our help. Over the next few years, 81% of Australian small businesses plan to retire. Now, situation is that most of them have no exit strategy whatsoever. Do you think they would like to have someone be able to get their business structured so that they can get a decent payday? Well, again, of course, the answer would be yes. So there's a massive demand out there, guys. The thing that you need to do is just simply convince them that you're able to help them. Remember, back at the beginning, I said, look, if someone's got a problem, you just need to have a solution that can help them. So what about lifestyle? Well, guys, here's a simple fact. You earn incredible income, you help other people succeed, and you get massive leverage on your money and on your time. You get treated like a king, obeyed like a heart surgeon, and you get to work wherever you want. Now, I've worked in Paris, I've worked sitting on the edge of the Grand Canyon, I've just worked in so many places in the world and still generate time. And while I'm having a holiday, I spend an hour on the computer. As long as you've got an internet, you're laughing, guys. But here's the other good thing. You know, part of what I do involves me continually learning. I've always got to be as good as I can possibly be for my clients, just out of ethics. So here's the beauty. They actually pay me to develop and learn the skills that I learn so that I can keep at the cutting edge of information and knowledge so that I can then help them back in return. Isn't that cool? So I now don't have to pay for my own personal development because in roundabout sorts of way, my client pays for it for me. And this is the sort of world and the life that you live. You get to do the things that you want to do. Now, I'll just quickly tell you how I ended up coming in here. It was by accident. I never had any intention. And by the way, I never had anyone show me, if you like, how to really become a consultant at first. I had to piece a lot of it together until I met one of my mentors, who I'll refer to a bit later. But essentially, the way I became a consultant was I went broke in my first large organisation that I built because my ego got the best of me. And so I then had to build another company very quickly to try to get myself out of the hole that I got myself in. And as so happens, I was part of an environment called Platinum. It was an environment run by my first mentor and business partner and very, very close friend, Mal Emery. And so I was part of his group, and people around me saw the I guess, transformation, or if you like, resurgence, the phoenix come back out of the flames, and saw me with all the results I'm getting in my second business. And this guy called Jeremy came up and said, Ian, I really need your help because I'm in a lot of trouble. And I said, no, I don't know how to help you. I'm not. Mal's the one that can help you. Go see him. Anyway, Jeremy said, no, you're the one. And I said no. I said no to this guy 3 times. Okay, I said, go see Mel. I'll introduce you to Mel. Please go see Mel. I'd love to help you. I just don't know how to help you. Anyway, the 3rd time he came to me and he was literally crying. He says, Ian, if you don't help me, I'm going to lose my business, my house, and I'm going to lose my wife. I'm not exaggerating. You're the one that needs to help me. Please, can't you spare one day? I'll do whatever it takes. I'll pay you whatever I can. And so, all right, I said, I will go down there and help. And I got shocked. When I went down there and I saw how he was doing his business, I was in disbelief. I gave him a 10-point plan. I told him what to execute. I didn't hold out much hope for him. But about 3 months later, I got a phone call from him, and he was gushing. He scared the crap out of me. When I picked up the phone, it was just this massive, Ian! And it was Jeremy. He's saying, I cannot believe it. I got my debts paid. Money's coming in. I'm making huge profits. My wife thinks I'm a hero. I'm in good terms with the bank, and I can't thank you enough. If there's ever anything that you need or want, I'm here to help. I'm your man. Oh, wow, what a way to make a living. That very day, I saw my wife. I said, honey, we're selling the company. I'm going to be a consultant. And that's how I'm doing what I'm doing today. True story. So guys, that's the second thing. Who likes that idea? Who enjoys the idea of being a business consultant? I'm not oversimplifying it. That's pretty much it. It was how I transformed into this world. Now, are you ready for point 3? You ready for secret 3? Now, these are the 3 things that every business must have. And again, I think you're going to see the key things that I'm sharing with you. They're just very basic core principles, but I'm hoping they're making a lot of sense. Can you let me know, guys? Let me know. Is this making sense to you guys? Jane says yes, absolutely. Melinda's saying that she thinks that it makes sense, which is great to see. So, look, here's Speedwell secret number 3. And this is what you must look for. Even if you do not think of coming along, and if you don't think that being an advisor is right for you, that's okay. It's not a drama. There'll be enough here. I know the maths, I know the numbers, I know the result I'll get at the end of today. But even if you do not decide to be an advisor, if you're looking for some other business opportunity, I want you to make sure that you're ticking these 3 boxes. Okay, this is what it's all about. And again, it's not rocket science. So when you're looking at any opportunity, you must make sure that they've got a proven, reliable, predictable, affordable lead generation system that you can turn on and off like a tap. That's number 1, because if you don't have leads, if people don't know you exist, how are you going to get business? And then when you get the leads coming in, you need to have a look at their sales system. Do they have a powerful sales system? Have a look, see the conversion rates, see what's happening with those sales and the process that they take someone through to get them from being interested in the product to actually becoming a client of that company. And then the final thing you need is to be able to keep your promises, ladies and gentlemen. There are many companies out there that will promise anything to get your money, but when it comes to delivery, many of them are sadly lacking. So you've got to make sure that they've got an effective delivery system for whatever the promise is. So if you're in air conditioning, they've got a great way to put that air conditioning into someone's home and keep the client happy. If it's in retail, exactly the same thing. These 3 things apply to any company. I don't care what it is. Now, I'm going to just apply it to our organisation so that you can see how we get the results and why so many of my advisors are so successful. But the bottom line is it applies. Just don't go into anything unless you can tick these 3 boxes. So let's talk about serious question number 1, your lead generation. So do we really have a reliable, predictable, affordable lead generation system? Well, I'm going to give you absolutely massive preponderance of proof that we do. Now, our reputation really is, I'm very proud of it. I do everything I can to protect it. I have 19 of the most powerful lead generation strategies known to man. I have used each and every one of these, and each and every one of these are proven to work. So it's not just guesswork or me making things up. I spend my money and I test the market before I say anything or recommend anything to my students. So I'm going to show you an example of just one of our lead generation systems now, so you can just get a glimpse of the power of them. So firstly, the whole consulting process is laid out step by step. So, you know, I guess blind Freddy would be able to follow the instructions. Now, so they're flow charted and they're put together in such a way that you can just go, okay, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Now, this process that you see here, we're going to follow it right now. We identify our target market. We obtain the prospect's name by using the word script for getting the contact's name. We enter the contacts into our database. We merge the details with our fictitious letter. We send out our business chronicle. If the prospect doesn't respond within 3 to 5 days, follow up with a phone call using the newspaper front page follow-up script. If they're interested, schedule a telephone call using the qualifying questionnaire, and then use the systematic consulting process. What if they didn't respond? What if they're not interested? Hey, that's okay. Send a thank you, and I still recommend that you keep in contact with them. How many of you have been on my marketing system and this communication system for a long time? I can promise you, many of you have been on here for years and years and years. And now you're here listening to me, and maybe I've got the right message at the right person at the right time. Who knows? What if if the prospect does respond and is interested? You then just schedule a telephone meeting with them and again use the qualifying questionnaire. So what do you say to them? Well, there's a whole script here so you know exactly what to say to them. And when you said it to them, you then dispatch this secret weapon. Now, would you all agree, and I use the example of a $5 million company, that they may be a little bit hard to get to, that you might have gatekeepers there that are guarding the individual, that these CEOs worked out that they can't have their day consumed by pesky people wanting to sell things to them? Well, that's understandable. So imagine this. Imagine if you had a courier with a package, a very valuable looking package, hand delivered where it's meant to be signed for on delivery, and it's requested that the actual person sign for it. Do you think there's a strong chance that that CEO might come out and take delivery of that package if it looks valuable and if it looks important? Well, I think the chance is yes. So you send this package out to them and you deliver it by courier, and you put a lot of effort into this first impression. Now, guys, this strategy, it's not our best strategy, it's one of them. But this one here has got a massive response, and I'll just show you how important that is in a minute. So imagine you sending this to a person, and you've got their photo here. Instead of my incredibly handsome Brad Pitt lookalike photo, you have your prospect's photo there. And it's integrated with a person that you've done some research on, you found out their interests, and you put that individual there. Now, I actually happen to like Tony Abbott. I reckon he's a good guy, and he tried to do the right thing. So I've probably just alienated 50% of my audience here. But bottom line is, if you got this and you like Tony Abbott and you saw this on your desk and it's in a nice picture frame and it's got Ian Marsh named Outstanding Entrepreneur of the Year and it's got incredible copy here, and I won't go through all of that with you now. Who likes that idea? Who thinks that they'd respond? If you're the owner and you got that marketing message, be honest. Let me know, guys. Tell me the story. Who loves it? Who thinks that they'd actually open the package? Yes. So we got Ewan saying, oh yeah, Mark, go for it. What else have we got? We got Franz that's liking it. Fantastic. Yep. Now again, guys, this is just a fraction of what we have to share with you. But look at the response rate that I get when I send this out. Up to 30% response rate. Now, if you know the response rate of your lead generation, isn't it just a matter of maths to determine how much business you want? And then if you know the response rate of your sales system, then you just need to mathematically calculate how much money you want to make. So that's the one lead generation. Now, if they don't pick up the phone and ring you, we have a follow-up system, okay? And we tell you what to say there and how to say it and what to do, etc., etc., etc. So lead generation, absolutely you can generate leads at will. Well, what about the sales system? So do we have a great sales system? Well, I might be slightly biased, I kid you not, but I believe that I've developed one of the most powerful sales systems on the planet. And it's not just me saying that. So many of my advisors are achieving incredible conversion rates, it's not funny. So individuals that have had no sales experience in their life before, and they're achieving 70% conversion rates, ladies and gentlemen. Just think for a second, what if you had a system that could generate a 70% conversion rate? How much would you be willing to pay for that? Well, I don't know. I'd say to be priceless. tell you about it. Maybe I should put the price up. Who knows? Anyway, what about the delivery system? Now, again, guys, this is, again, I want to put your minds at ease. There is no way that I would want to put anyone into hot water by getting them to have the ability to generate a lead, convert a sale into a client, take someone's money without a absolutely simple step-by-step process to help get results for that client. I just wouldn't do it. So again, remember I said to you that I'm now in my 6th multi-million-dollar company. I'm now working on structuring another amazing organization. And the reason I can do it is because it wasn't luck. There is just a simple mechanical process that when applied to the right business vehicle, it has to be the right business vehicle, you get very predictable results from it. And that's exactly what I lay out here. Exactly those same steps that I use in all of my companies, and I teach you how to use them and how to implement in other people's companies. I give you every step of the way, the most advanced software, the manuals, the processes, and I just had to put this in, guys. You think about it. When do you find that you're the most productive? Isn't it pretty well when the bills are due? Isn't it amazing where you can find money from when you've got to? I just thought that was so funny because as a consultant, I see that all the time. Now, guys, I'm going to turn all of you, I'm going to get a magic wand, and for probably the next 2 or 3 minutes, I'm going to turn all of you into consultants. I'm going to show you just how amazing this world is and show you how simple it is, really. See this lady here? Can I just get all of you to suspend disbelief for a moment and imagine that you are all street smart consultants and that you've got a client. This client owns a retail store and she's very distressed because sales are nearly non-existent and she doesn't know how she's going to be able to stay alive for the next 4 or 5 months if sales keep going the way they do. And you walk in and you start observing what's going on. And so this retail store, they're selling dresses. And with those dresses and outfits, all these ladies, they're coming into the store. And you're coming in first up as a consultant because you're being paid your $3,000 a month to help improve sales for this lady. What I want is for some ideas from you guys, okay, on how you might be able to help that retailer. Now, you've walked in there and here are your observations. You've gone into the store and you've looked around, you see the staff, and what you observe is that it must seem like the customers are wearing mozzie repellent and they're wearing error guard, because as soon as they come near an assistant, that assistant seems to miraculously have to run off, go to the toilet, go and fold some clothes, or just generally not be anywhere in the vicinity of a customer. I'm sure many people have experienced that. So these are your observations, guys. And you've walked in there. So what might be a solution that you could recommend to the business owner? Anyone there have some suggestions? Please play full tilt with me on this, guys. I really want your feedback. So you're all consultants now. You've come into that store. You've said, man, look at those staff. They're not even talking to anyone. They've got a sour look on their face. What might you do? Well, Melinda says staff training. Absolutely. So how about teach the staff exactly what you expect from them? You think that might improve results? What else? Let's just get 3 ideas, guys, and thank you for sharing, Linda. It's 100%. A lot of people just don't, they just think that people naturally know how to sell, and they employ the wrong people. They employ people that might be shy and don't like talking to people. I don't know if they're the best people to employ for a sales role. What else could we do, guys, when looking at the staff and seeing that they're not talking to customers? Any other ideas apart from Melinda's? Pop it into the chat box for me. Think about it. What could you do as a business consultant? You're getting $3,000. You've walked in there and you just see that these staff, they're just not talking to anyone. Are there any other thoughts? What else have we got? Ah, there you go. How about develop a presentation? Very good, Sam. It's very true. And Jane says, well, you could build rapport with the clients. And Julia, oh goodness me, Julia, she's one of my favourite ladies, I tell you. Julia, she's got an incredible business. She's about to launch. It's a locator business. Ladies and gentlemen, write this URL down. Now there's at least 100 people on this call right now, I believe. I haven't looked at the stats, but I know it's at least 100. Now, Julia is an amazing lady. She was a nurse, and I'm distracting right now, but Julia is going to launch a new product. It's going to be an amazing product. mysafetylocators.com.au. In about 2 or 3 weeks, I want you to go there, write that URL down, mysafetylocators.com.au, and you're going to see this amazing business that this lady is deciding to get into in her in interesting years. She's not going to work as a nurse anymore. She's importing from China. But very good, Julia. You said replace the staff. No mucking around. Now, guys, you've all got fantastic things. So look at this. I'm just going to quickly run through it. And I'm assuming most of you are not consultants. However, I'm just anointed you. So Melinda said morale boosting. Joanne said staff engagement. Melinda said incentives. Kent said hire new people with mortgages and families so they're motivated. Very good, Kent. Sam says teach them a presentation. Jane says a rapport with the clients. Julia says replace the staff. Prohead. Look, all of these ideas, body language. And guys, you've just used your common sense. How did you come up with these ideas? Well, each and every one of you have a life of experience behind you already. And largely, I would say 90% of what we do as business consultants is simply having a second pair of eyes, looking at the situation from the outside in, and then giving recommendations. And I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, it is so much better solving other people's problems than solving your own. It just seems so simple when you're giving advice out to other people. So I think I've just improved my point that you can help other individuals. You've just got to put a bit of thought into it. And I do appreciate you playing and giving those suggestions, guys. Now, look here. What you're seeing in front of you, it is expensive software. It is the best business growth software on the planet, I believe. It's created by a friend of mine, Peter Hickey. It's called Mouse Software. There you go. I've given him a plug. Now, I provide this software to the advisors. There's different levels here. I'll get to that in a little while. But this software steps you through and gives you the plan largely of what you need to be doing with your clients as well. So, you know, there's not a lot of guesswork. It's pretty mechanical. You know, and if you learned 100 ways, if you had a system that showed you 100 ways to get more leads, or 63 ways to get better conversions, 53 ways to increase the amount of money that someone spends when they do a transaction, 68 different ways of increasing the profit margins in a business, 55 ways of increasing frequency of purchases that you have with an organisation, 38 ways to increase the number of years that a customer stays doing business with you. What about 57 ways of getting more referrals? How about any referrals? What would happen if you put just a few of those ideas into an organisation? It'll explode, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm just going to give you a tiny glimpse here of my wall of fame. This is what makes me so proud, guys. I really do. Yeah. This is why hardly ever will anyone ever see me without a smile on my face. Now, this is Tracy and Yvette. I love these two ladies. I'm not going to play the videos, but essentially they came to us. Tracy's single mum. Really, they went down one path that I advised them not to go down. They did a lot of dough. They came back and said, okay, well, look, could we really got what it takes? And I knew they had what it took. You know, within 6 months, they were in mid-six figures. You know, so how amazing is that? And now they're so busy they hardly have time to take my phone call. So I haven't talked to them for quite a while now, but they're doing amazing work helping business owners in Perth. Jano hopped on a plane, flew 40 hours to come over to see me and learn these skills. He's a horse trainer. He's actually an elite horse trainer. If any of you know about horses, you probably even recognize the name. So his business, I believe his horse training business itself has tripled. I could be slightly out, maybe even be more now, maybe quadrupled, who knows. But also his consulting business. He's doing group consulting, he's doing private consulting. The impact that I've had on his business has been astronomical, and he stays in touch with me all the time, doing huge things in his business. Now, this is a horse trainer that's skilled at not getting kicked in the head, ladies and gentlemen. He's not a master salesperson. He hasn't had any formal business training, and yet when he applied it to his horse training business, his profits went through the roof. His systems, he's got more time back, and there's people in Belgium now that owe a lot of thanks to him because he's improving their businesses. Now, I said earlier on, now the title of this is, would you like a 6 or 7 figure income as a highly paid, in-demand business consultant? Now, the handsome gentleman you're looking at here is Glenn Twiddle. Now, it could be said that the student has even surpassed the, the, um, the tutor, if you like. Now, Glenn actually did the advisor training twice. When I met him, he was making $50,000 a year teaching real estate agents how to do a half-decent job, and he was very, very committed. This guy, I tell you, he's a spectacular gentleman. Anyway, he didn't do the advisor training once. He actually came and did it twice. And that's just one of the things that I do with my advisors. If they want to repeat the training, all they've got to do is cover the cost that it is, the physical cost for me, and I'll let them do the training again. So now, moving forward, I think it was about 4 years ago or 5 years ago they did the training. He now has the second largest real estate coach. Oh, I better change that. John McGrath might get upset with me, but he's got the second largest real estate coaching group in Australia. His students love him. His students bought him a Harley Davidson, for Pete's sake, to say thank you for being a wonderful coach and mentor. Guys, I kid you not, no one's ever bought me a Harley Davidson, although I did get handed $10,000 as a gift once just to say thank you for me doing a great job. But, you know, this is the sort of experience that you have and the impact you have on people's lives. He's now a seven-figure consultant. I don't know exactly how much money he makes, but I tell you what, it's pretty nice. But I interviewed him not that long ago, and the full interview's on the web somewhere. And he's a genuine seven-figure business consultant. He's got real estate agents all over the world seek his advice and ask him to improve their results. And he's now personal friends with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He goes over to his house and smokes cigars and drinks red wine in Miami with him, and Richard Branson. His life has just changed so much. So, you know, who knows where you're going to take this knowledge? I don't know. And Scott Kilpatrick. Now, this gentleman, he got into massive issues as well because he decided to help his community. I've thought of going into politics once or twice, but it's just so damn dirty in there. Anyway, so he decided to run for Parliament. Now, this was before he became street smart, by the way. This was before he became a business advisor. If he ran for office now, I guarantee you he would get in. But back then he didn't know how to market himself, and so he just lost by a hair's whisker. He's actually one of John Howard's very best friends, and he just lost by a hair's whisker. And when he came back to his building company, the building company was in disarray, and he really was in a dark place. Anyway, he came, he saw us, he started becoming street smart, he did the advisor training. He's now, I believe, the largest, most successful builder in Rockhampton. I don't know if he's bought an island in Vanuatu or he's just building on an island in Vanuatu, but he's building a massive 5-star resort. It may even be built. I've got to give him a call. His world has changed around completely, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Simply because he now knows some simple things that he never knew before. Okay. Dean McCain. Again, we taught him some skills. He's now one of the leading patio businesses in WA, booked up for months in advance, the last I heard. So again, I could go on and on, but I don't want to have this training go on for too long. My biggest challenge is you, okay? I really get so disappointed sometimes because that pre-programming, sometimes I can't break through with the jackhammer to help you realize that you can have whatever you want as long as you're willing to do what it takes to get it. And if you are, there's a wonderful world out there for you. So, you know, many of you right now, you're probably enjoying what I'm saying, and you've got this little voice there saying, oh, could this be for me? Maybe it's not. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Well, you know, only you can decide that, and there's some decisions there for you. But I urge you, if you have not got a plan to change the way things are at the moment, well, there's every chance that it may still be the same in 12 months. Now, I've asked one of my advisors to come on. I thought this might be a bit of fun. I'm going to ask Ross to hop on this call, and I just want to ask him a couple of questions, guys. How long have we been going for? What time is it? It's 20 past 8. Oh, my goodness. I've been going an hour and 20 minutes. Guys, am I doing a good job, though? An hour and 20 minutes? I can't believe it. I better start moving my backside on this. So, guys, I'm just going to hand over to Ross because I just want to have a bit of a chat with him, and if I can work out how to log him in here, we may have a bit of fun. So, attendees, yes, we're going to staff, and if I click this one, Ross, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you, Ian.
Hello, Ross, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Ian.
Uh-oh, have we got silence on the other end? Can you are unmuted. I will mute you and I will unmute you again in the hope that I'm not going to sit here looking very foolish. Can you hear me now, Ross?
Yes, I can hear you.
Ah,
Can you
there we
hear me?
go. I had you turned off, mate. Now I've turned you on. Are you all good now? I had my little speaker. It
Yeah.
went off on me.
Yes, I'm good now. I'm all turned on.
I was just teasing the audience. There you go. I was testing them all to see if they were listening. So, mate, are you enjoying yourself so far? Do you reckon I'm explaining this fairly well to everyone?
Yes, yeah, explaining it very well. Uh,
Fantastic. Yeah. Well, mate, look,
thank,
I do thank you for coming on the call. And now, guys, I want you all just to be aware. Ross is a fantastic gentleman, and what I'd love to do is I've only got a couple of minutes because I didn't realise how long I'd been teaching for, but I just wanted you to hear straight from, if you like, the horse's mouth, the sort of experience that an advisor has had in our environment. And I can assure you what Ross is probably, hopefully, I'm praying, going to share with you because none of this is scripted, will help you understand that this is an amazing life for a lot of people. Now, Ross, you and I think, how long's it been that you joined the advisor program? How long ago?
um, 7 months,
Seven
8 months.
months. 7 months. And now I remembered talking to you because you were a consultant previously, weren't you? But in the energy market, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
And
Yeah, go on.
I was in the situation I had that I needed to systemize my business
Yeah.
and working with Street Smart gave me the system I could put in place. It saved me the heartache of having to come up with all the systems and processes myself. Um,
Oh,
a
yeah. Let
very
me just go into that, and let me just talk to that, Ross. Okay. Now, with those systems, before I get to them, I saw you actually run into a bit of a challenge because you got ripped off by a client. Do you remember that?
yes.
Yeah,
Can't
it
forget that.
wasn't very pretty. I saw the stress because the bottom line was that there's not everyone out there is as honest as us, and I saw the stress. So I suggested to you as soon as I sort of heard the sort of money you were making as a consultant, I was a bit shocked, and so I suggested to you perhaps it was time for you to become street smart. Now, you took me up on that advice and became a street smart advisor. Now, I'm just curious, before you became a street smart advisor, did you have any concerns or what sort of thoughts were going through your head before you made that decision?
My main concern was income and um, expanding my client base.
Okay. Because you had troubles clients and leads, is that what one of your challenges were?
Yes, I
Okay.
didn't have any system in place to for lead generation.
Mm. Now, I do remember saying to you that, look, when you become an advisor, I'll promise you three things. You're going to know how to generate leads, you're going to know how to convert leads, and you're going to know how to get very, very good results for your clients. Do you remember me making those promises to you?
Yes, I do.
So what do you reckon? Do you reckon I kept those promises?
Yes, you did. Because within the first 30 days, I'd actually signed up two new clients by using
Yes.
the systems that you taught me.
Mate, and look, this is what I love about you, buddy. Is I teach you something, and you don't go but. You don't say yes but. It drives me crazy when people say yes but. You just go yes sir. I'm ex-army, ladies and gentlemen. So Ross, if I ask him to do something, he just gets out there and he does it. And what do you know? He gets results. Isn't that interesting? In fact, that just reminds me of a quick story. Now, you had a caravan. That you put on the market. And can you just tell us very quickly, because I'm running out of time, that caravan, how long did you have that on the market for?
I had it on the market for 6 months.
6 months. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I do a fortnightly Q&A with my advisors, and that's where if they have any questions or they want to get ideas, we all brainstorm as a family and say, hey, why don't you try this, don't you try that? And so when I heard it was on the market for 6 months, I said, so where are you marketing it? And I asked Ross to show me the ad. Now, We all got together then, Ross, and I gave you some guidance on let's just say rewording and redesigning that ad. Do you want to just let the market know, let all of our people know what happened once we redesigned and just came in with a different strategy?
Yes, so I reworded the ad, and within 2 weeks, I had 8 inquiries, and the van sold just
Spectacular. How
this
many
week.
inquiries did you have over the previous 6 months?
In the previous 6 months, I had 10 inquiries.
Mm.
So
Wow.
it was
So
just a good
10 inquiry.
stage.
I'm no mathematician, but I'd say that's like 4 or 5 times the response rate. And now the reason I just share that example, ladies and gentlemen, is because the simple fact is, A, we do support each other, and I want you to understand that. And B, I had no agenda. I just love helping people. And B, when you just make little changes to things, you get massive results. And so we just made a few simple tweaks to Ross's ad, and next thing you know, it sold. Did it sell for the price that you wanted, Ross?
Yes, it did. Surprised me as
Yeah.
well.
And these are the sorts of skills that you'll learn as advisors. Now, just a final question, because I've got so many things that I'd love to ask you, but actually two final questions. So Ross, percentage-wise, I'm not going to ask you to reveal how much money you make. That wouldn't be right. But percentage-wise, how much has your income increased now compared to what it was before you did my training?
It's gone in excess of 300%.
Guys, I don't know about you, but wouldn't a 300% improvement in 7 months in your income be pretty cool? Now, let me ask you another question. You were doing a lot of travelling prior to becoming street smart. So you're still doing a lot of travelling there, Ross?
A lot of travelling is an understatement, Ian. It was excessive travel. I think I was doing somewhere between 70 and 80,000 kilometres a year. And now I am more of a homebody, which I'm thoroughly enjoying.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it? Now, just the last question for all of our listeners here, and I really hope that we're breaking some of that carbonized crap off from around their brain of just what's possible. So, are you my only success story that you know of? You've met a lot of the other advisors. So, is your experience unique, or are you seeing many other of my students achieving similar sort of things?
No, I'm not unique. I've seen a lot of other advisors that have come under your wing and have become very successful.
Yeah. Well, Ross, look, again, I would love to go into more depth. Now, I actually am putting your interview, because I interviewed Ross about a week ago. I think it's on YouTube. But if you want to see more about Ross's story, feel free. But I just want all of you to hear just a real individual, just a normal individual, no special skills, just like me, and the results that he is getting now. It's totally transformed his future, his financial future. I don't know. Are you still there, Ross?
Yes, still here.
Yeah. So, mate, if you didn't become street smart, what do you think? Would you think there might have been some pretty serious ramifications, say, within 2 or 3 months of you keep doing the same thing that you were doing?
Yes, I would have been financial ruin.
Mm. Mate, look, thank you for sharing that, buddy. I do appreciate it. Now, I'm going to hook in again. I hope these guys are getting a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun. Are you having a lot of fun, Ross?
Yes,
Yeah, fantastic, mate. Well, look, thank you again for sharing, and I'm going to put you on mute and go back to my mission here. So guys, look, I'm really hesitant. I don't really want to tell you my true success rate because even I found it a little bit hard to believe, but it is quite amazing. Now, I have another. I have another thing that I want to share with you. Anita, please get an update for me. I want to actually do a little calculation for all of you, but I do not. I'm putting a very special calculator together. This is a gift that I have for you. It's a very powerful gift, and I use it quite often. It's really, if you like, the cost of inaction. But at the moment, I tried to get it ready for you. This is a special gift. We're at the end of this training, if you like it, I'll actually send it through to you when you stay on till the end. But it looks like my programmers still haven't finalised it yet, which is a shame. Maybe we still have a little bit of time. I've still got about 20 or 30 minutes of things I can share with you here. But bottom line is this calculator, this is what I use a lot to help me make decisions. Because I don't know about you, but sometimes you try to go, well, should I do something? Shouldn't I do something? And if you sit on the fence, the bottom line is that that's the worst thing you can do. Because when you sit on the fence, it really increases the stress levels. It's actually proven that you can get very, very bad health consequences by not being able to make a decision. In fact, the top CEOs of the world, the reason that they command the money, the 20 million, 50 million, $100 million a year, is their ability to make a decision. And ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't always have to be the right one, but a decision is better than no decision. And so this calculator that I use, I actually use that to help me make decisions in life, and I'm going to give it to you as a gift because I think it'll help you as well. But it is the cost of inaction, of not making a decision. So now to recap, what we've done, I've shared with you the 3 speed wealth secrets. First, I've explained to you why only 5% of Australians make more than $140,000 a year. Then I showed you our business model and how many advisors are really making an amazing success of things by utilising the business model that I've just revealed. And you've just heard firsthand from Ross, and I can assure you there's no setup. He's just a genuine guy I wanted to help. And I'll also explain to you the 3 key things that any business must have to succeed. Okay, so I really have enjoyed myself. I think I did a good job teaching it, but it's not me that's the judge, it's you. Now, look, if you're wondering if this could be right for you, well, look, I don't know. I don't know you, but I do know that if you're in a jalopy as a business vehicle and you want a racing car, this is about the fastest vehicle on earth. And if you're a business owner and you'd like to use these skills, imagine being your own consultant, using these skill sets on your own company. What do you think might happen to your business? That's what happened with Dean McCain, that example I showed you a little while ago. He actually didn't use it for consulting. What he did was he actually used the skill sets on his own patio business, and he's grown that to be one of the leading patio businesses in Perth. But now what he does is he just goes around and finds businesses that are in distress. He builds them up. He buys them for practically nothing, builds them up and sells them for a fortune. So that's how he uses the knowledge. And the other thing is anyone out there that's now thinking, you know what, I would love to use my knowledge that I've gained over my lifetime. I'd love to help other people. I'd love to make an incredible income and make a difference out there. So this would be a great business for me to be able to generate my lifestyle and design my life and be the perfect business vehicle for me moving forward. So, I don't know what you're looking for, but, it really does fit in. And just a few of the people that I've trained are like builders and school teachers, engineers, accountants, farmers, single mums, real estate agents, MBAs, OBEs, brickies labourers, salespeople, scientists, IT consultants, retirees, start-againers, just to name a few. And when I say start-againers, they're people just like me that thought they had it made, had a heap of money there, and then blinked their eyes, one wrong move, and they're dead, and they had to start all over again. And I've helped many of those individuals. Now, I've created this whole program so that you really can get fast results, guys. It's not make-believe. You just heard from Ross, he got his first 2 clients within 30 days. I would love you guys to be heading towards 6 figures within 45 days. Is it possible? Well, I'm not going to make promises. I don't want to get into trouble and oversell something. And I don't know you and the amount of effort that you're going to put in, but I can tell you that if you follow the system and you put the effort in, many people have managed to achieve it. Now, I am giving you my whole consulting business. I'm giving you all of my lead generation strategies that I've used as a consultant to get clients. I'm giving you all of my business development strategies that I use to get results. I give you access to my membership site where I keep updating it with the latest ideas and things that I have tested and proven and put my own money to first. And trust me, not all of my ideas are winners, so I make sure I lose money before I then share these things with you. So hopefully it gives you a bit of confidence to use the strategy. So this might just, I haven't done the exact maths, but it's well over $18 million I've now generated in consulting. That ain't too shabby, guys, especially when you don't have a lot of overheads, as I've just explained to you. So now, look, I really hope you guys have been getting a lot out of what I've been sharing with you. What I'd love to ask is your permission now to show you how I get these results for our advisors. Would you like to see the program and the training that I put together so that you can actually start to get similar results that we just heard Ross get? Would that be okay? Can you just put in the chat box? Tell me that you want to hear this, or are you sick of me and you don't want to hear anymore and you want me to go home? Pop it in there now so I can see that you are really sitting on the edge of your... Yeah, fantastic. Wow. Please, let me at it. All right. Thank you, Franz, Belinda, Mark, Marsha, Jason. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Okay, so here's the thing. Now, until today, I only ever had one solution for people who wanted to learn to get involved in the advisor training program. And I've been copping a fair bit of flack off a number of individuals in a nice way because they desperately want to be involved in it, but they couldn't get involved either because they're in a different country, or they didn't have quite enough money, or they couldn't travel to Fiji, all these reasons. And so one of the fastest ways to become a marketing expert is to ask your clients what they want. And so I decided to look at the feedback and then customize what my clients would like to see and then give it to them. What a novel idea that was. So right now I'm just about to reveal for the very first time 3 different levels, okay? And I hope you love what I'm about to share. I put a heap of work into this. So we have at the very top the platinum level. This is the customized business advisor training, and I'll go into that and explain that in a little bit. Then we have the advanced business advisor training, the gold level. Now, that is what most of my advisors have gone through, and that is what the experience that many of them have gotten the results from, which is the gold level. And then we have the new model again, which is the business advisor training silver level. So again, the top of the tree is the customized business advisor training, the platinum level. This is the ultimate, I guess, if you like. Then we have the advanced business training advisor level, which is gold, and then the advisor training, which is the silver level. And so I'm going to go through the gold level and show you how we really get results for our students. So it all starts with me taking you away to a 5-star Fijian resort where we can start to really change your mindset. And I do 6 days of solid training with you where I teach you how to generate. By the time you leave the island, you will know, just like I asked Ross, how to generate leads at will, how to then be able to convert them, and then how to be able to get results. In fact, when you get to the island, you will more than likely have your very first prospect to be working on, because I'll show you how to get your very first prospect before you even come and get me to teach you. So that's where it starts. Now, this, I believe, is why we are so successful, is because after that training, after you've got that 6 days of knowledge, you also have a year of membership at Street Smart Business School. Now, my members all pay very close to $15,000 a year to be members. And so this is 9 days. We get together for 3 times a year for 3 days where I teach you very advanced business skills, okay? So you keep improving your skill sets there. And in addition to that, I go to the major cities on the East Coast, so Gold Coast, Sydney and Melbourne, and for 8 times a year I run workshops there where all of the Street Smart Business School students come and we work on their businesses, and you are able to come to those trainings in the gold level. And in addition, again, it keeps coming, you have 3 solid days of advanced consulting. Now, these are tacked onto the business school where, again, 3 times a year we get together for 3 days, but what happens is on the first day we tack on an extra day for advisors only, and that's where I develop your sales skills, for example, or your consulting skills, or maybe your analytical skills of how to determine what's going on in a business. So that 3 days there, many of them say that's the best of the whole program. So to summarize your training, 6 days immersion training in Fiji, that's solid, day after day. Then 9 days training throughout the year. Then I come and do a workshop once a month where you come into the workshop and you start learning these skills as well. 3 days of specific advanced consulting skills where at business school, I have an additional day for advisors only. And in addition to that, I do fortnightly webinars. Can you see how this is total immersion, guys? Like, I don't just let you rip. I've got your money, I've taken you to an island, I've taught you this thing, and I say, go away, don't hassle me, I've got your money now, nick off. That's not what happens. I want to see you guys succeed, and so I'm as committed to your success as you are. That's 26 days of intensive training, guys. I do not know of any organisation that does it. But in addition to that, I give you one of the best resource systems, the Millionaire System, so that we can start to get your mind thinking like an entrepreneur. There's a different type of thought process that's going on. So you get access to all of this as well. And in addition to that, what you're looking at here, these are the core principles, the 11 principles that I put into each of my multi-million-dollar companies so that they get very similar predictable results. You get my lead generation system. So 19 of the most powerful ways to generate a client. I mean, you only need one. I'll give you 19 of them and they all work. You get my conversion system, and many of my consultants report a 70% plus conversion rate when they're out there using my sales conversion system. I don't know how you put a price on it. That's why I haven't put a price on it. Normally, you may expect to see prices on all of these things and values on them, etc., etc. It wasn't doing them justice putting the prices on there. I just thought, well, you know what? People will know how powerful this is. I do these fortnightly webinars for you where you get to ask anything that you and I'll answer them. And imagine having your own book. What do you think they would do to your positioning and your credibility when you're talking to customers if you're a published author? And by the way, this is a very, very powerful book. So this is what you call white label. You may not be aware of that terminology, but white label means you get complete rights to do whatever you want with the book, put whatever you want in there, change it, chop it, put howdy doody on there for all I care. But you have full rights to this book, and it's a spectacular read. So when you hand that to clients, what happens is you immediately establish instant authority and credibility with your prospects before you even start to give solutions. Now, again, I give you software that really holds your hand and keeps you on target so that you just follow a mechanical process to get from point A to point B with your clients. And I develop a clear plan with you so that you know what to do, how to do it. And the final part of this gold program is there is a chance, and I'm saying again, there is a chance that you may have the opportunity to work with some of my students in my business school. Now, my first responsibility is to make sure that my students get the very best coaching off the very best people. So I am very selective with who I get to coach my students. But if I feel that you may have the potential, I may ask you if you'd like to do some coaching, and I pay you very handsomely for doing that as well. I don't take advantage. I pay you very nice money for that. So to summarise it, 6 days, 7 nights in Fiji, and I pay for your accommodation and food while you're there, ladies and gentlemen. So you just got to pay for your flights to get to Fiji. It doesn't cost very much from the East Coast. Business school. So we meet 3 times a year for 3 days and you learn, and I have the most amazing people there. I've had Gina Reinhardt there. We've had Rodney Adler there. I've had Margaret Court there. You know, I really just try to find the very best people I can to share their knowledge with you. A business mastery is where I come around and teach you in workshops. 3 days of advanced consulting skills, fortnightly Q&A, strategic planning, your resource library that I want you to study, our Street Smart lead generation system. And again, you know, it's just so powerful. The Street Smart sales system, the business optimization system, your own white label to your own book, and the possibility, there are inverted commas here, you may get the right to be able to coach some of my business school students. And it's a great apprenticeship. It just gives you that confidence as you're starting out to start doing the foundations the right way, because we hold your hand there. So let me just ask you guys, if you had a system where you could generate leads at will, what would that be worth to you? Just think right now, if you had that ability to generate leads at will in your business, how could you put a price on it? What about having a sales system that converts at 70%? Do you think if you had that knowledge and that ability, that'd be worth a lot of money? See, I used to value each of those at $25,000, but guys, that's just a drop in the ocean. These systems are so strong. You put those ads in, you will get a reliable, predictable result. You execute exactly as I ask you to. It's not guesswork. You are going to get leads. You are going to get people saying, that could be viable. I could be interested in that. Okay? And what about knowing how to implement just some simple ideas in a company that can literally develop, millions of dollars in improvements for them? How do you put a price on that? Well, all of this knowledge starts to get involved in your head. And once it's in there, ladies and gentlemen, you can't get it out. It's yours for life. So it's very powerful. So I want you to consider, and I do consider these superhuman powers, guys, because there are so many individuals right now that I have transformed their lives. Now their marriages are still together, their businesses are still intact, they actually have a life instead of being chained to their organisation. Simply because I've come in there and I've been able to contribute and influence their environment in some small shape or way. And the result of it is pretty massive, guys. I really, this is why I say it's the most personally rewarding industry I have ever seen. I've never, ever experienced the joy that I get by seeing my students improve. You know, single mothers that have been left by their husbands because they're mongrels, being brought from a different country to Australia, ditched, and the person having to survive on, say, 50K with their children, and then just with me giving a little bit of guidance, these people now have incredible incomes. They can now actually consider buying a home of their own and having the life that they want to have. Now, that's the power that you start to develop when you become a business consultant. And I, again, just cannot think of anything better. Now, I've also got a bonus for you guys. Now, this is the ultimate street smart customer relationship and online marketing system. Now, I purchased this for 12 months for you, so it is a subscription. Okay, the actual name of it's built by a friend of mine called Russell Brunson. He's regarded as one of the world's top internet marketers. He built this system called ClickFunnels. Now, it costs Australians $5,000 a year for this program. That's the actual cost. So this is not Mickey Mouse. This is the actual cost. So I actually give this in the Gold program now because it's absolutely vital that all of you have a database. This is part of the program that I give to you. So even if you don't know how to do websites or funnels, see, the reason you came to me today is because of my marketing system. Guess what that was completely built in? It was built in ClickFunnels. Now, I utilized another piece of software with it that I love as well, which is called Infusionsoft. But ClickFunnels, I get to make the pages, and I'm a dinosaur. Don't think I know how to do programming or anything, but I can now create the pages, I can put the words in. A 7-year-old can do it. It's that simple. So I provide this for the people that are doing the Gold program and the Platinum program, just because it's going to make your results so amazing. So it'll help you create your sales funnels. You'll be able to do membership sites for your program. You'll be able to design anything you want. You won't need to employ webmasters and designers and all the other things. You'll have a database and a CRM and autoresponders and split testing and all these wonderful, wonderful things that hopefully most of you know what I'm referring to with that terminology. But trust me, even if you don't, it's just bloody good. It's the best I've seen on the market. So I'm going to shell out a heap of money for you because it's just going to increase your chances of success by that much. It'll be a complete customer relation management system for you as well, so that you can stay in contact with your clients. And as you become more street smart, you'll know how important that is. Now, here's another very, very powerful bonus that I've got for you. And again, this is for the Gold system. So when you come back from the island, I've been observing, analysing, questioning all of the consultants and asking them, how can I improve the program? What can I do? How can I make it better? And what I've come up with is when you come back from the island, guys, you're going to be so excited. You'll be out there jumping out of your skin. But when you get back to reality, you then start getting this carbonized crap on you again. You get all these people calling you or maybe putting doubt in your mind and saying maybe negative things. And so what I've done, a great pain to myself, is I've implemented a 7-week fast start online implementation program. Now, many of you are probably thinking, oh, here we go, another automated process where I get a video and someone's going to talk to me and I've got to do what I've got to do. No, ladies and gentlemen. For 7 weeks, we're going to review, we're going to go over, and we're going to step you through all the things that I taught you on the island, just to make sure that you don't lose momentum and that you actually get things done. I am so excited about this edition. It's going to be a lot of extra work for me. It's going to be a lot of extra hours for me. But, man, you know what? If I can help you guys be more successful and start to achieve the results that you deserve, then it's going to be worth it for me. And if advisors out there that have ever paid me and they've done the right thing by me, you are able to have this bonus for free. I will be sending the invitation out to you, and you can come and do a revision and go through this fast track process with it as well. So 7 weeks. So you'll come back from the island, and we're going to go through each and every part of the process. And what will happen is each week you're just going to go off. You're going to get a little part of it done. You'll understand it. You'll come back. Then you get the next part done. You'll understand it. You'll come back. You get the next part done. Are you getting excited? Who's getting excited? I'm just getting excited just talking about it. Who's excited? Who's loving this? Oh, fantastic. Martin Keane says that he's a certified partner with ClickFunnels, and that's great news, Martin. I'm so happy for you. I really love stuff. I love Russell. He's a bloody amazing guy. Congratulations on becoming certified. So that's your second bonus, guys, in the gold program. Now, I've now created a silver level because not everyone can afford the gold program. So I've created this level here in silver. And what this is a 3-day intensive training on the Gold Coast. So in Australia, you don't need to travel to Fiji. You get fortnightly Q&As. So except for December, I'm not going to do Q&As in December. I usually have 6 or 8 weeks off, and so give me a break. But then strategic planning. So you'll be able to call me, talk to me. You've got 4 hours of strategic planning to talk to. Also got me on the Q&As, so every fortnight you can jump into that Q&A for an hour and ask me anything as well. And you get the Millionaire Mindset resources, you get the Street Smart lead generation system and the sales system and the optimization system. So the only thing, there's a few little things that you don't receive, but like the white label rights to the book and a few other little bits and pieces. But the core program, you will get everything that you need to hit the road running and get out there and make things happen. Now, this silver level, I designed it for people that maybe they're business owners and they just want to apply these skill sets, these if you like, strategies to their own company and look at it from an advisor's perspective. Well, it's perfect for them because, you know, the investment's a lot less. And also individuals that say, oh, I don't want to go to Fiji, I want to stay right here in Australia. Well, fine, I'm listening to you. I love going over to Fiji, but I'm doing it on the Gold Coast. And the other thing is people that have a limited budget. So they really desperately, they've pleaded with me, they've begged, they've said, please, can you just design something where I can get some of this knowledge, and I just can't quite make that investment that you're asking for the gold level. So I've designed it for that. So that's your silver level. Then finally, I've got the platinum level. Now, this is the ultimate, if you like, the ultimate level that there is. And what I do in this platinum level is I am going to personally create your consulting business with you. That means that, and I only do it with 4 people at a time. It is the most powerful thing that I think, if you want to stack the odds in your favor, if you want to ensure that you've got the highest chance of success, then I'm going to work with you. I'm going to help you design your own consulting practice. We're going to customize your lead generation. I'm going to help you create the weapons. I'm going to create your online lead system with you. I'm going to help you with your branding. We're going to do the ultimate personalized business consulting program, one amazing outcome, and that is an incredible consulting practice. And the reason why I'm confident is because I'm just going to literally work with you hand in hand and give you everything I've got, so there's no room for misinterpretation. Now, this is an online program, this VIP program, so anywhere in the world, so those of you in England, those of you in the US, those of you listening from New Zealand and everywhere else, I can't believe how many people on this call, this can be the perfect solution for you. And what I will do is go deep. It'll only be 4 people, and it is very strict application only because I need to know that you've got the qualities I'm looking for to be able to help you. And again, the investment that I'm asking you, it's a joke compared to the return that you can get from this business. But that's the platinum level. That's me working with you and designing your own consulting practice and helping you pull together all of your lead generation, showing you how you execute your lead generation, and you literally have a backbone straight to me to be able to get assistance where you need it. So what's the investment for all of this? Well, again, what I want to do is make sure that I can help you achieve the things that you want to achieve. And largely, we need to be asking you a number of questions to work that out. So what I've decided to do is tell you that these trainings start from $25,000, and that's for the silver level. And what that is a very, very strong business to get started with. You're going to have every resource you'll need to create an incredible platform, an incredible consulting practice. But we want to talk to you. We want to see if and how we may be able to help you get from where you are to where you want to be. And so that's why I've put this price down at such a ridiculously low level at $25,000. And the other two levels, we want to have a talk to you because you'll need to qualify again. I am selective. Maybe that's part of why my success rate is so high as well, because I actually do not take everybody on that applies. As hard as that may seem to believe, there are a number of individuals that I just have a few doubts about. And if I do have those doubts, and it's not massive, maybe 10, 15%, sometimes 20% occasionally, but maybe 10 to 15%. And I've only got your interest at heart. I don't want you to make a substantial investment in something that may not be going on, but I'm not a mind reader either. So maybe if I say no to someone, I'm preventing them having an incredible future for themselves. So I urge all of you to apply now, and the way that you apply is this URL. You go to, whoop, I'm teasing you again, sevenfigure.academy, SBA-EOI form. So I'm just going to escape. I'll put this into the chat box for you guys. So just stay with me. I'll go copy, and we'll go to the control panel over here. And I urge you, there's a lot of people on this call, if this is sounding good to you, I'd urge you to get these applications in quickly because there are only limited numbers. I do not train a lot of people. I did the maths in the, actually, so just in your chat box, you've just seen a URL there. That URL is sevenfigure.academy/SBA-EOI-form. So that's the URL, and there's an application form there for you to fill out. I'd urge you, if you love what I've been sharing with you, get onto that right now and fill it in, because what we're going to be doing is creating some future 6- and 7-figure business consultants out there. And again, I don't know, I'm really torn. I can tell you the success rate. It's for my advisors that I've trained is so far above 75%. It's ridiculous. And I am so proud of that, guys. I'm not going to tell you the exact success rate, because even I had difficulties believing how high it was when I worked it out with my staff today. But all I can say is that if you've got the will, you've got the commitment, and you can follow direction, you're coachable, you know, amazing things are possible for you. They really are. So sevenfigure.academy. Now I'm going to now play this again because I have a few more slides here. And I'm hoping, I'm going to go back in again. Anita, while you're listening, can you see if there's any update on that calculator? Because I'd love to be able to show that calculator to everyone. And by the way, guys, gift of yours, I'm going to show you exactly where it is. But that gift of yours, you'll be going to another page in a second. I'll show you how to get this free gift. Now, you won't be able to get this gift, it looks like, until tomorrow, because it's not working. But it's a very powerful thing called the cost of inaction. I'll just have to, if you like, wing it. But what you do now, you click on this link down below, sevenfigure.academy/SBA-EOI-form, and that'll take you to an application process. Fill in those answers, and then my team will contact you. Now, we're probably going to get a pretty big response from what it's looking like here. So give us up to 48 hours, but we will contact you. Now, if you haven't heard from us, just give us a call. Now, Our phone number, I haven't got it on there. See, I actually like talking to people too. Yeah, how many of you hate it when you're trying to do business with a company? I'm sure they set out just not to give you their phone number so you can't bother them. I mean, heaven forbid actually talking to a client. What a crazy thought that is. So you can ring 1300 881 671, and you can talk to Heidi. Heidi's an amazing lady. She's our customer relations manager, and she'll be able to point you in the right direction. So that's 1300 881 671, and we'll answer any questions there. But give us up to 48 hours, because I think we're going to be pretty busy with the responses that are going to be coming through from here. So we'll go back in, and remember, I'm going to wait on here and answer questions for you. I'm sure some of you may have some questions, but I want to really point out, you are only one decision away from a totally different life. I mean that. I saw that quote one day when I was walking down the street in Adelaide. It was a lovely day, and I saw that in the shop front window. I said, wow, what an amazing statement. And I wrote it down because it really stuck in my head. So you are only one decision away from a totally different life. So my question to you is, if you are not getting the results that you're wanting to get, if you think that you are behind the 8 ball to where you should be, maybe you're just not being appreciated, or you don't want to be doing the hours you're doing, or it's time for a career change, or perhaps you're hitting that sort of 40 or 50 mark, and it's a bit hard for you to get another role in an organisation because these turkeys don't think you have much to offer. What gooses? You've got a lifetime of experience. Well, this may just be the right solution for you. It's worth having a chat, don't you think? And if it wouldn't be street smart if I didn't have a very, very powerful guarantee. Now, on the gold level, and please listen closely, this is the gold level, this is where I take you to Fiji. I'm going to reveal all of the materials and the assets and how everything fits together on the very first day. So when you go to Fiji on the first day of training, what will happen is you'll start to see all of these resources, and if you don't think by the end of the first day that it's the best decision you've ever made, that's fine. Just let me know at the end of the day. You won't send me broke if I give you your money back. And what I will do is I will just take out the cost of accommodation and food, because they will hit me up for the whole cost for the week. So that's fair enough, don't you think? Just the accommodation, the food, the admin, it's a fairly nominal amount, and I'll hand you back the rest of your money, and you go on, and at least you'll have a very good idea about it. So there'll be no hard feelings. I'm happy if you don't think it's right for you, but it's very important to me. Okay, so guys, that's the guarantee. So when we accept you, if we do accept you into the training for the Advanced Business Advisor, then you come to Fiji. We spend that first day together. We rip into it, and you're going to see the lead generation, how powerful it is. There's not one person all these years that's ever asked for their money back, except for one poor guy that actually invested in the program, and he didn't tell his wife. So when his wife saw the bank account and it was sucked dry, she rang this gentleman while we were in our training, and I have never, ever heard a voice so angry, so loud, oh man, we were terrified. The guy sheepishly came up to me and said, look, I hate to do this. I really want to do the training, but my wife's pretty scary. It's either the wife or the training, so could I please have my money back? Now, apart from that, no one's ever asked for their money back, so, it must be pretty powerful stuff. All right, so that's the guarantee there. Now, there are other guarantees for the other programs. I won't go into them here right now. I don't want to confuse anyone. All I can say is that I stand behind it, and I'm really serious about your success. So if you love what we're talking about, go to the sevenfigure.academy/SBA-EOI-form, and I'll get you to fill that in. I'm really looking forward to us having a talk to you and see if we can help you in this world, if it is the right fit for both of us. Now, part is questions. So we've covered an awful lot. I hope you've got an awful lot out of tonight. I've given everything I've got. What time is it now? I haven't even glanced at my watch. So we started at 7. We're gone for 2 hours and 6 minutes. Man. Well, guys, look, I'm here now, and I'm going to stay on this line. I'll answer any questions that you have. I'll have this chat box open. I'm going to go to the question box now, and if you've got any questions, now's your chance to ask me. I'm at your disposal, and I'll do my level best to put you at ease and help you with anything that you'd like to know. So I do hope you learned a lot from today and just know what an amazing world this is. But fill me in. Anyone have any questions about what I've just covered tonight? Anything they'd like to know about the program, for example? Make sure you're clicking that URL. So I'll just get it back up again. So that's interesting. How about I'm just going to go here. Well, you put your questions in the chat box, guys. I'll put that URL into the slide so you can refer to it. That'd be a great idea. All right, so yep, you're popping them in there. Now, give me a second while I just go through this right here and find that URL. Okay, so we have looking. Talk about the elusive URL. Here we go. We're getting close. So 7figure.academy /SBA -EOI -form. Pretty simple. I'll put that onto the other one, and I'll hang around for 30 minutes, guys, and again answer any questions that you may have on there. So it is here. Looking. I'll put on every slide except this last one. So hey, I never said I was perfect, guys. Just very good. So paste. There we go. If you need to refer to it. And how about I'll make it bigger and make it black. So look at my skills, hey? What do we got here? So I'll make it that and put the size on. We're cooking with gas. Now, guys, what questions have you got for me? We've got slideshow, back to play, and we're cooking. Okay, so you now have me for 32 minutes. All right, so where's that question pane? What have we got? So, when's it on? Now, it's about 4 to 5 weeks, guys. So the training's on in about 4 to 5 weeks. I want to have a talk to you first because we want to work out the very best training for you. And so until we know what the right program is, it's probably best not to go into too much detail on that. Now, also, what is the percentage? What is the percentage success rate? Well, again, now, guys, I don't know if you'll believe me. That's my issue. So all I can say is it's extremely high. Yeah, it's well above 75%. I'm not going to do it. I just do not want to take the risk that someone doesn't believe me when I share it, that it is very, very high, and it is all documented. We've contacted the people, and I'm very pleased. Now, when I say success rate, I am not saying that everybody out there is making 6 and 7 figures. No, actually, I'm glad I just specified that. No, they've got success to varying degrees. Not everybody wants to earn that sort of money either, guys. Some of them just want to, what would life be like if you're just earning an extra $6,000 a month? Would that help you? Just having that, just working and having maybe 1 or 2 clients there in the background. What would that do? Put an extra money on your mortgage, for example. So when I say success, it's their success that they consider success, and they're able to get clients, they're able to convert clients, they're able to get leads, they're able to get results. Now, I didn't get a chance while we're here because we're just answering questions now, just to make you aware of Ross and the sort of results that he's getting. I wish I had him on the... Actually, I wonder if I've still got him on the call. He might still be there. Okay, now I'm just going to escape then from here. And where are we? So, guys, Ross, are you still there, mate? Can you unmute yourself? Are you there, Ross?
I'm here, Ian. I'm
Fantastic.
still here.
Yeah, so, buddy, just while you're there, I thought, why not? While you're here, people are probably wondering about this. Now, what sort of results are you getting for your clients at the moment? Do you mind just sharing that? So, just to give people a bit of a guidance on, I know that that business that you got that percentage of is going gangbusters. Can you give me a little bit of an idea on that one?
It's going really well. They've been on 200% growth.
200%. Fantastic. Yeah. So, and again, so was it rocket science actually achieving that growth?
No, I
No.
would.
Yeah. So it's just, would you agree that it's a very, very easy to follow systematic process? Now, you're an engineer as well by background, aren't you?
Yes,
Yeah.
I
So,
am.
so you are a systems guy. You like having a plan to follow. So how good do you think the plan is that I gave you to follow?
Really good, and it's simple to follow.
Yeah, beautiful. Now we've got some questions here from where are we now? Okay, I'm trying to expand this. See, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a bit technology challenged. We've got Mark saying, "Is it difficult to become a consultant to a business without having long?" I can't. What's the rest of that? Goodness me. Without having long business history yourself. So um, actually, before I answer it, what do you say to that, Ross? You're what you unbiased person. What would you say to that question? If somebody didn't have a long business history themselves, do you think that they could utilise the skills as an advisor?
Yes, yes, you can. Look, businesses, business is simple, but sometimes it's not easy. And
Mm.
what you learn with Street Smart to back up what knowledge you have as well will give you the gives you the knowledge and the confidence to consult with other businesses.
Mm. Yeah, well, that is very true. So the simple fact is, as long as you follow the process, you're going to be able to get predictable results. Now, do you know many other advisors that I've trained that are actually getting good results that didn't have a large, strong business history behind them?
Yes, I do. I know of at least um, six other consultants that are having extremely good results.
Mm. Now, now again, guys, generally I keep my family to around about 15 or 20 current advisors that I work with. I don't like it getting too massive. So, to date, over 5 years, I've trained 57, I think, advisors. And uh, gosh, I really am so desperate to tell you guys the success rate, but I know discretion's the better part of valor. So, so 57 advisors I've trained in 5 years, guys. So it's not as if I want to put an advisor on every street corner, and believe me, I could. I mean, so this training was oversubscribed. I've got so many people that I'm sure there's going to be a heap of. If you haven't put your application, I urge you to click that link. Get your application in while you're listening to this, and because it's first come, first served. If the spaces run out, you may need to wait if and when I do the next one. But now the bottom line is that if you don't have a strong business history, I will be having a conversation with you because I want to make sure that you've got some core skill sets behind you. All right. As I said, I have your interests at heart. It doesn't do me any good to take on a business consultant that has no hope of success because it would just give me a very bad reputation. Now, again, I'm very proud of my reputation because I just do everything I can within my power to help people succeed. So we'll have a conversation, and I'll. The way the process works is Anita will have a conversation with you first and have a good understanding of where you're at and what you want to achieve. And if she follows through the process that she believes that you'd be a great fit, then I'll be having a conversation with you. And then if it's a great fit, well, guess what? We'll be turning you into a street smart individual. And again, guys, it's a wonderful world. And I've trained, as I said, I've trained so many people from different backgrounds you wouldn't believe. So many of them don't have a business background. But I do want to know. There are certain criteria. Now, Fran says, fantastic. Have to go. Now, I know we've gone a long time, guys, and as I said, I just have so much to share. I just couldn't help myself. Now, Martin says the calculator. Now, I'm going to make sure that everybody that's been on this call and has stayed till the end is going to get a copy of this calculator. It's a very powerful one. Now, I'll actually, I just cannot, it's a shame. I really was hoping to have this ready for this training. But essentially what this calculator does, and let me give you an example of the cost of inaction. I had a client that came to me. I won't share the industry or who they are, but they came to me and they said, look, I think I need help. And I looked at what they were doing from a marketing perspective, and I said, yes, you're correct, you do need help. I looked at their website, I said, oh my God, it's not pretty, the news is not good. And I told them exactly what they needed to do, and I told them the investment that they needed to make. And it took them 8 months to actually pull the, to hit the button and make things happen. So when they actually did come back to us and start working with us, after I'd completed their marketing system and their business model and pulled their strategy together, they went from making around about $25,000 a month to making anywhere between $200,000 to $250,000 a month. Now, what I want to share with you is, look, it's great, they're wonderful, they're some of my favorite clients, but the cost of inaction, they waited 8 months. You guys do the maths. The difference between $250,000 and $25,000. Now, Ross, you're the mathematical guy. What is that? So $225,000 per month, correct? Now,
Yes.
if you got a calculator or something, Ross, what's 225,000 times by 8? How much is that? What's that work out to? 225,000 divided by 8. Oh, sorry, times by 8.
1.8 mil.
$1.8 million, ladies and gentlemen. So because they waited 8 months before they decided to fix their situation, it cost them $1.8 million in lost income that they could have had. Now, can you divide 1.8 million by 8 for me, Ross? Oh, sorry, so let's do it weekly. So 1.8 million divided by 32 weeks. What's that work out to?
56,250 dollars.
So every week that they held off making a decision to get a better result cost them 56,200 and whatever the last two digits were dollars. Was it $56 or something? So do you understand? Who understands the cost of inaction? You understand where I'm coming from, guys? How important it is to make a decision. So if they had said, you know what, Ian, you're right, I will make that happen, and I will act on it because it makes sense. I can see, and yes, you guaranteed that we would get a better result and that it wouldn't cost us money in the end, it'd make us money. And if they had have done it faster than 8 months, guess how much money they'd have in their bank account? Now, they're doing great. They're actually the leader now in their field, the fastest growing leader in their field, but that's the cost of inaction. Now, seeing as I've got Ross on the line, I'm actually going to impose on you a little bit more, Ross. Let me just bring up I'm going to use this one. So I'll use this slide. So I'll insert I'm just going to do a practical example here, guys, and show you, if you like, physically, the cost of inaction. So I'll put a text box here, insert, text box, there we go. Now, let's just say that you're on a typical income. Now, the average income in today's Australia is $76,000, pretty close to it. That's the average income. So actually, just for ease sake, I'm just going to say 80,000. Okay, so the average income, we're just going to say, is 80,000, and I'm just going to say that all of you here are on $80,000. That's your current income that you are generating. Okay. Now, let's just say, for argument's sake, that I'm not full of it and that I didn't pay Ross an incredible amount of money to lie through his teeth for me tonight, and that you do have the ability to increase your income to even, let's just say, $250,000. So let's just say your desired income was $250,000. Okay. So the gap, and remember right at the beginning I said, what is the life of a consultant? Well, it's simply seeing if someone has a problem and you helping them solve that problem with a solution. So I'm actually consulting with all of you right now. So desired income, actually, I keep it an even number. So let's just say 300,000, because that was the example we've been using all day. So let's just say that you all would like to be making 300,000, but you're currently on $80,000 at the moment. Now, the gap, okay, the difference right now that you have is actually $220,000, okay? So the desired income that you want for the lifestyle that you want, so you can live in the place that you want and send your children where you want and have the holidays where you want and buy the cars, and you may want to put water on in a village in Kathmandu, for example, or Timbuktu, I really don't know, but whatever goal, you need finances for it. So the current gap here is 220,000. So your income that you're currently earning is 80,000. Your desired income is 300,000. The difference, or the gap, is 220,000. Now, if we work that out on a monthly basis, Ross, can you divide 220,000 by 12?
$18,333.
That's per month, is it? 18,000.
Yep.
Just say it one more time.
18,333.
$18,333 per month. Now, guys, what I'm showing you here is the expensive cost of inaction. And so I'm just looking to make this a little bit bigger so everyone can see it. So right now, if you saw that you could take an action that could increase your income from 80,000 to even 150,000 for Pete's sake, and there's a gap every day, in fact, do that for me as well. So what's 18,333 divided by, just call it, no, let's do it right. So times by 12 divided by 365. Can you do that for me, please?
$602. I'll say $603 rounded.
So you not taking action to get the knowledge or the skills to develop yourself to the next level is costing you $603 a day, ladies and gentlemen. This is absolute truth. This is the cost of inaction. And so what I'm saying to every one of you now is, well, how much money do you want to keep losing? What's prevented you getting from where you are to where you want to be? Is it that you didn't have the ability to get the right business vehicle? Is it that you didn't have the right knowledge before now? Is it that you didn't think that you could do it? I don't know, only you know. But what I do know is that if you do want to earn that extra income and you haven't got an alternative way to do it, then sitting on the fence is costing you $603 a day, guys. I'm hoping that's making sense. Okay, is it making sense? Let me know. Put in the action box. Who's understanding this? Who's getting this? Now, those of you that are going, well, yeah, that does make sense. I just want to remind you of one of the lessons. Now, I'm zooming to it right now because it's something that is really the main factor behind most people's failure to achieve what they're capable of. I see so many people that have so much potential, they're so intelligent, and yet what happens? They prefer to stay in their comfort zone because they'd much rather protect what they have rather than take a small risk to get what they want. And that's the courage zone. And I urge all of you again, please, this is where the biggest improvements and breakthroughs happen in life. That very first time that you talked to that girl that you were thinking of asking out, you had a decision to make. Should you or shouldn't you? Now, if you didn't pluck up the courage to ask that girl out, well, there's no way that she ever became the woman of your dreams, even if you did love her and long for her and worship the ground she worked on. But if you did pluck up the courage to go and ask that girl for a cup of coffee or for her phone number or whatever that first, probably very stupid looking step was from the eyes of the female. And I'm talking from a guy's perspective because, ladies, look, I have a lot of fun trying to work you out, but I don't think I'll ever succeed. So it's safer to talk from a man's perspective. The very first time you asked that woman of your dreams, I know how nervous I was when I saw Jenny. I mean, I just knew straight away that was the woman I wanted to marry. So the comfort zone, if I never stepped out of my comfort and started that conversation with Jenny, oh, we wouldn't have the life we have now. We wouldn't have the wonderful children that we have and the experiences that we have. I might, who knows, be a bum right now because Jenny really is the reason. It's not a fib. She made me want to be a better man. So she's my motivation. And by the way, I was actually well into this terror zone, guys, when I was courting my beautiful woman, the lady of my dreams. Now, what about you? So are you willing to go into the terror zone, or are you actually in the paralysis and the overwhelm zone? Now, this actual table, I can't take credit for it. It is actually a lady called Margie Worrells. Now, she wrote a book called Stop Playing Safe. Imagine if Bill Gates played safe. Imagine if I don't know, Steve Jobs played safe. Where would we be in the world today? Somewhere very, very different. So again, guys, I urge you, if you think that this makes a lot of sense, put the application in, have a conversation with us, but only if you're serious. I'll do whatever I can to help you get to where you want to go to, but we've got to know what you want to achieve. So I don't know how we're going with that 30 minutes. We're probably pretty close. Have I got any other questions here? Will customers take you seriously? Okay. Now, absolutely. Now, again, these are some of the things that you get as a street smart business advisor, is I provide you with positioning tools, exactly things like a book. Now, when you are a published author and you've got your own book, and it's a very, very good business book, when you hand that to a client, instantly you are catapulted to success. I kid you not. People take you seriously. You do. I still remember when I first put my foot out there in the consulting world and started seeing clients. My first consulting fee, it was $300. That was for Jeremy. Spending the day with Jeremy, it was $300, and I was nervous. I thought no one would ever pay me that amount of money for my time. Well, now my consulting fee is $5,000 a day plus a percentage of the upside. And there are more expensive consultants than me out there, and I have a waiting list of people that want to be working with me. So, I still can't believe back then I was so nervous. So I started at $300, and then when I saw that I could get results for people and that they actually listened to me and showed me respect, man, my price then went up. It went to 500, then 1,000, then 1,500, then 2,000, then 3,000. Then 4,000, and then 5,000 plus a percentage of the upside. Now, I don't know what your journey is going to be, guys, but you need to start somewhere. And again, I can tell you that we're not recreating the wheel here. I've helped so many individuals now, it's not funny. And you could be my next wall of fame. So again, guys, click that link if you're liking the sound of where we've coming from, what we're doing. Get into the game, stop watching the movie. You can have the results and achieve what you want, but you actually need to step out of that area of comfort and into that area of discomfort. That's where the real massive strides of income and life transformation occur. Because it's nothing really, very, very little of your massive improvement comes from my resources, even though they're spectacular. I kid you not, I'm so proud. This is really my life epitome of work. But it's so much to do with your thought processes, so much to do with your mindset, so much to do with your decision-making processes. That is what keeps you where you are. And you need to now recognize that if you want to change things and then take steps to modify your thinking. So, guys, if there are no more questions, I'm pretty sure I've been on for at least the half hour. I've had a blast. I hope you guys have as well. I'm going to sign off now. I want to thank you, Ross. I want to thank you, Anita. I want to thank you, Ball Boys. It's been a blast, and I look forward to talking to you and having a conversation with you about becoming a consultant. Talk to you soon, guys. Bye for now.